Danfall offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshe traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danfall, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danfall, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danfall, Africa. To learn more, visit danfall.africa.
Peace, family. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru on this Saturday night. Do me a favor, hit that like button again. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. And I'm reading the comments. Celebrities or clowns. No. Here we go. Please stop labeling African Americans as FBA. I'm sure these celebrities never heard of FBA. FBA is an online hate group who follow the white supremacist-based ideologies. I'm going to play an interview of Ryan Coogler, I'm sorry, the director of Black Panther, where he said he was FBA and he said foundational Black American. You know, I don't agree with some of the rhetoric and the ideology coming from FBA. But at the same time, I have to give credit where credit is due. FBA, that term is going mainstream or starting to. Not yet, but starting to. But we'll get into that later. Got a couple of announcements. Announcement number one, we are rolling to Cape Town, March 25th to April 2nd. March 25th to April 2nd. If you're interested in joining us in Cape Town, please visit Danfall.africa. Again, please visit Danfall.africa to learn more. We're also going to Senegal. We got 2 spots left for the Jazz Festival. That is going to be May 9th to the 18th. May 9th to the 18th. If you're interested in joining us, please visit Danfall.africa. If you're interested in joining us, please visit Danfall.africa. We are also rolling to Nigeria in August for Oshun. That's August 2nd to the 11th. Zanzibar in September for Safari Blue, September 20th to 29th. And then we're going to end the year with Ghana, Ivory Coast, and Sierra Leone. Ghana and Ivory Coast is going to be, I think it's November 8th through the 19th. And then Sierra Leone is going to be November 20th through the 29th. So if you're interested in joining us, please visit Danfall.africa. If you're interested in joining us, please visit Danfall.africa. Oh, yeah, definitely. I think that's true. And did you read the part of the I still haven't really delved into the Epstein files, but they're saying that Bill Gates is over there studying Nigerian women and their fertility rate and trying to get their ovaries. Yeah, it's kind of wild. But let me this is the site, guys, Danfall.africa. Please visit. If you're watching this, go ahead and sign up for the mailing list. And, you know, I'll greatly appreciate it. You know, I will greatly appreciate it. All the information is there, where we're traveling to, where we're going, all that good stuff. And again, would love to have you all on a trip. Again, we'd love to have you all on a trip. Once again, hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. So this is we'll start off with this. This is Ryan Coogler. Oops, wrong button. This is Ryan Coogler.
And I had that opportunity before with the Panther films. And in that situation, you know, me being a foundational Black American, you know, my family has been here, you know, for over 400. A foundational Black. And in that situation, you know, me being a foundational Black American, you know, my family has been here, you know, for over 400 years, essentially, you know, in North America. But you know, the Panther films allowed me to travel back to the continent of Africa. Me has been here, a foundational, me being a foundational Black American. You know, my family has been here, you know, for over 400 years, essentially. You know?
I was muted. Yeah, there you go. No, well, somebody was saying that, you know, none of these celebrities call themselves FBA. There goes one, and there's others. So we can't minimize how FBA, the term, is spreading. I mean, we can't. You got to give credit where credit is due. I'm not a hater like that. So, and I respect Ryan Coogler, but he refers to himself as FBA. And many of us thought this would be a fad and it wouldn't go anywhere, but people are following along. Yeah, but tonight's topic from Hollywood to Africa, why African countries are giving FBA celebrities citizenship. So with YouTube, your title can only be a certain amount of characters. So instead of saying African Americans or whatnot, you know, I used FBA because that pretty much sums it up. And for the most part, I am FBA by definition. Again, I just don't agree with the ADOS isn't as, I haven't really heard too many people use the term ADOS like they do FBA. They have had whole segments on the CNN. You are correct. I just don't agree with some of the rhetoric and some of the ideology of, you know, that FBA that they spew. But by definition, I will be considered FBA. But let's jump into today's topic. Once again, guys, please hit that like button. If you're new here, please subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. From the BBC, from Hollywood to the homeland. Listen, I promise you, I just read this article without the pay screen. Without the payment portal. I promise you guys, I literally just read this. Oh, you know what it is? It might be the VPN. Well, here's another one. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, we're good. We're good. There we go. We're good. From Hollywood to homeland, why African countries are courting Black American stars. Samuel Jackson is a citizen of Gabon, and, you know, Sierra is a citizen of Benin Republic. Although the forefathers were seized from West and Central Africa centuries ago, the bond between African Americans and their ancestral home has been a lasting one. For instance, Liberia, Africa's oldest republic, and also, let me add, the country outside of Ethiopia that's never been colonized, was founded by free Black American slaves in 1822. After Ghana became independent in 1957, a wave of Black intellectuals and artists moved there from the U.S. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali subsequently paid high-profile visits to Ghana, while Guinea became home to Black Panther Party leader Stokely Carmichael. The transatlantic connection has ebbed and flowed over time, but in recent years, there's been a real resurgence helped by the use of DNA tests. A number of Black American celebrities have sought the nationality of African countries. Singer Sierra has become a citizen of Benin. Rapper Ludacris and film star Samuel L. Jackson are officially Gabonese. Actors Megan Good and Jonathan Majors are citizens of Guinea, and musical icon Stevie Wonder has Ghanaian papers. Just last week, wildly popular content creator Isho Speed was approved for a Ghanaian passport after stopping in the country on a whirlwind African tour. The celebs have, in most cases, flown out for elaborate citizenship ceremonies and tours of local beauty spots, all of which have been captured for glossy social media content. Posting photos of her citizenship ceremony in Guinea, Megan Good told her 7.8 million Instagram followers last month. This is history in motion. The Good, who has featured in films like Think Like a Man and Saw 5. Never saw Saw 5. I saw one of the Saws though. I bet you Saw 5 is good though. And her husband Majors, known for Creed and Marvel flick Ant-Man and the Wasp, and became citizens after DNA testing traced their ancestry to Guinea. The recognition goes beyond titles. It is a homecoming and a reconnection to our Afro-descendant roots, said Good. Messaging from various African governments has echoed this sentiment. In conferring Ghanaian citizenship upon Stevie Wonder, former President Nana Akufo-Addo said at Wonder's 2024 ceremony, "We not only extend our warmest embrace to a beloved son of Africa, but also reaffirm our belief in the enduring spirit of pan-Africanism and the global African family." Ghana has long promoted its pan-African credentials for a decade. Anyone whose ancestors came from Africa have been entitled to Ghanaian nationality. It's not that clear. It's not that transparent or straightforward. A policy that arguably inspired Benin to launch a similar scheme. What I don't like about these articles, Sierra Leone was the first with Isaiah Washington, and Sierra Leone was the first that had a transparent process for citizenship for the diaspora. Even though it's been postponed or put on hold, Sierra Leone was the first. Ghana also launched the Year of Return in 2019, a buzzy initiative encouraging Africans in the diaspora to relocate there. More than 1,000 African Americans have done so in the past decade, according to Dr. Erica Bennett, ambassador for the Diaspora African Forum, which helps people relocate to Ghana. It is not only about romanticism. Maria Roger Biloa, a Cameroonian journalist with a focus on West Africa, tells BBC, it is all very much about how we tap into the potential they have, the Americans. Tourism is an obvious motivator. Governments hope that social media posts from the stars will encourage other Black Americans, a large group with a growing economic power, to visit and inject money into their countries. I don't see anything wrong with that. I would rather see Black Americans injecting money into Africa than anywhere else, outside of maybe the Caribbean. Biloa notes that Benin's president, a former business tycoon, is keenly aware that this country's former role as key departure point for slaves makes it a poignant destination for Black Americans. President Patrice Talon has really started investing in cultural heritage in a way to engage the African Americans worldwide. He understood it could be an engine for a new form of tourism and a new branch of economy, she says, mentioning the Marina Project, a memorial and tourist complex being built in Ouida, once one of Benin's main slave ports. Positive publicity from stars like Sierra may also encourage diasporans to invest or buy property in Benin, as they have been doing in Ghana since the Year of Return. Soft power is also an important factor. By promoting their culture and building a robust network around the world, countries like Benin, Guinea, Gabon, and Ghana stand to gain global influence. In this mission, celebrity citizens act as ambassadors. Francis Kapentinde, a Beninois lecturer at Francis Science Po University, tells BBC, Benin has no diamonds like the Democratic Republic of Congo, no petrol, nothing. We just have cotton, the ports, and culture, he says. The celebrity ambassadors are a way for us to be on the record, to be on screen. Now it's working. You can go to the social networks. You see Benin everywhere. Kapatinde says. Many people from the countries involved recognize the economic and political benefits of citizenship, of giving citizenship to Black American celebrities, but others are more critical. There is an underlying feeling that the stars are bypassing what can be for those born in the countries and cumbersome and costly procedures to get passports. Tawfiq Suleiman, a painter and decorator from Ghana, felt irritated when the foreign minister announced that Aisho Speed, who grew up in the U.S. but has a Ghanaian mother. Aisho Speed's mom ain't Ghanaian. That's Aisho Speed's mom is not Ghanaian. Have been approved for a passport. No, hold on. Oh, no, my bad. I read that wrong. No. Hold on. No, Aisho Speed doesn't have. Yeah, Aisho Speed's not. Aisho Speed's mother's not Ghanaian. It really a bad president. Why do people, your citizens, have to go through vetting? Sometimes others end up being denied. Suleiman, age 32, tells BBC, you just can't hand out a passport to anyone just because the person is a celebrity. Yes, you can. Following the foreign minister's announcement, Patrick Boma, a member of the Ghanaian Parliament Foreign Affairs Committee, told local broadcaster Channel 1 that the content creator must follow the required legal procedures to get a passport, although authorities may waive certain steps for him. Sunday Chikete, the head of Benin's tourism authority, told BBC that citizenship processing is not influenced by celebrity status and that Sierra followed the same standard procedure as any other applicant. But it was expedited. We'll just say that. It's expedited. Another criticism of the celebrity citizenship trend is that it would be superficial and fleeting, and that stars will collect their certificates, publish a few social media posts, then go quiet. And that's kind of what Sierra Leone was saying. You know, people were getting their passports and not coming back. So that is a major concern. It is not clear whether in all cases the celebrities are required to publicize or maintain lasting links to their second homes, but Chikete stressed that Beninois citizenship is not a transaction and it does not come with contractual obligations, whether promotional, financial, or otherwise. Yeah, that's a good response. 6 months after getting their citizenship, Sierra returned to Benin in January to play at the Vodun Days Festival. Megan Good and Jonathan Majors have stressed that their connection with Guinea would be long-term and evolving. We could absolutely see ourselves having a home here and spending meaningful time in Guinea, they told the BBC over email. Ya Inawe, one of the numerous Ghanaians who welcome Aisho Speed's naturalization, says he hopes the content creator uses passport to set up a base in the country. Even if he's not going to come to Ghana all the time, at least him having his presence in Ghana or doing a project in Ghana, Niame says. The doctor says giving Aisho Speed's real name, Darren Watkins Jr., a passport is a brilliant strategic move, as the creator currently has all eyes on him. He has more than 50 million YouTube subscribers, with their recent 20-country tour of Africa contributing to the growth of his platform. It will take time for Ghana, Gabon, Guinea, and Benin to gauge whether their strategies have paid off, maybe 1 or 2 decades, Kipatinde says. Earlier this week, Benin's government said it would open a government agency specifically dedicated to nationalizing Afro-descendants. However, Ghana reached a roadblock in its plans to reconnect with the Diaspora, announcing it was pausing its citizenship applications as it needed to make the system more accessible and user-friendly. Regardless, Kapatinde believes that by welcoming home some of the Diaspora's brightest stars, the African countries are on the right trajectory. People on the continent have long held pan-Africanism, but now we need action, he says. We need concrete acts, not just speak. There we go. All right, I'm going to put the link in the chat room if you guys want to call in and add to the conversation. You're more than welcome to call in and add to the conversation. I'm going to put the link in the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the convo, you're more than welcome to call in and add to the conversation. And as you guys start getting yourself together to get ready to call in, we'll take a quick commercial break.
Danfall offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshe traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danfall, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danfall, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danfall, Africa. To learn more, visit danfall.africa.
All right, go ahead, Ben.
Hey, what's going on?
Happy.
I don't know if you guys are aware. FBA was actually in the news on ABC News.
Yeah, I played it. I played it yesterday.
Oh, you did? Okay, all right, never mind.
Yeah, I played it yesterday. Yeah, it was a clip on Black History. Yeah, it was a clip on Black History. Guys, links in the chat room. In fact, we can pull the clip up again right now. ABC News. FBA. Yeah, but it was a clip on Black History. But yeah, it's spreading, you know.
Yeah, it is.
You just gotta admit to it, you know. It's not personal. People don't take it personal. I mean,
I don't know why people have something against it. I don't,
see, I don't have I don't have an issue with the term. It's just the rhetoric coming from the people, you know, it could be problematic, and some of the a lot of the misinformation that's coming from it is problematic, because it's shifting now from, okay, foundational Black Americans to, well, we was already here, we was the Indians, you know, stuff like that is a problem.
Yeah, but they've been saying that even before FBA. I know for a fact that Black Americans have been claiming to be indigenous to America and that they are the original native Indians. That's not new to FBA didn't come up with that. That's before FBA.
True. All right, go ahead, Africa, mute yourself.
Yeah, greetings, my brother Dinas and everyone. I hope everyone is well.
All is well.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, FBA. I mean, like one of the reasons why I always come on your platform, Dinas, is because you find yourself in Sierra Leone, where I was born, and a country where have a lot of history with your ancestors, and we grew up with them. We know the good times. Especially my generation. Okay, and Sierra Leone is not a coincidence that Sierra Leone happens to be one of the countries who offered citizenship to you guys. It's in our nature. It's always been like that in that part of the world. We're very hostile towards outsiders, but our Black brothers all over the world, we always welcome them. And FBA, I think I'm not from America. I'm from the UK. I just see FBA as African Americans as distant cousins. That's it. You know what I mean? I'll just pass it on. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, City.
Hey,
See,
Dennis, we back again. How you doing?
good man.
All right, good. So, the topic is why they giving citizenship to celebrities, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think it makes sense because celebrities, no matter what, they will bring resources to invest. They will have impact on the community by creating jobs, right? So, I know you have been carrying a lot of group of black people to Sierra Leone.
Hmm.
I'm wondering if all these people that have given been that privilege to have Sierra Leone passport, have they invested? Because
Only,
I
only, only,
remember,
only a small amount.
okay, I remember you were a little bit frustrated with our issues because the privilege or privileges that you giving to those guys to have, African passport, especially West African passport, is a lot. Recently, I saw this Russian guy. He's I was most of the time following him because he and I invested in the same project in Nairobi. So he took a few Westerners to Sierra Leone, and they met the head of the parliament. Same process that you've been going through. And then they were issuing them, they were telling them that citizenship in Sierra Leone will cost them $140,000.
Right.
Compared to what you giving to those guys, it's like a peanut, like a chicken feed. So my worry is they're not taking advantage of the they're not taking advantage of what he giving them in Sierra
Oh,
Leone.
of the opportunity given to them, you mean?
The
Yeah.
opportunity they giving to them. I'm seeing
Right.
Westerners, being $140,000, and each additional family will cost them $20,000. And I saw this Russian guy full of playing with white folks from Europe, but he was saying that Europe is about to fall. Africa is the future. So it gonna be redundant situation for you, and it's gonna frustrate you because I'm not sure if those guys would really invest or compared to celebrities. So I think it makes sense because recently even Guinea gave citizenship to one of the celebrities from the West. So I'm kind of concerned they're not taking advantage of it, of the opportunities they've been given, right? Because I wanted to come to the show yesterday. O'Shea, don't get me wrong. What is the impact that he's making? He been in Kampala for almost 10 years, but his only resources that he provided was YouTube. If you take a YouTube channel away from,
No. He employs locals as well. So
well, yeah, but yeah, the local that he employ. I saw his video recently. Most of these local that he employed, they just work for his YouTube channel. I'm not saying that he's not employing them, but for his YouTube channel, and when you take YouTube channel away from him today, his resources is gone. So for the past 10 years, he been there. What is the impact that he has made so far, right? So I'm not looking down upon him, but at the same time, the African American they have to stand up, because Sierra Leone need investors. Sierra Leone need people that can make impact on people's lives. And at the end of the
Right.
day, Mother Bill going to get, frustrated with the situation that we're giving citizenship to those guys. What are they doing?
And
You
at the
know?
end of the day, what are you going to get? Straight with the
So
situation of giving citizenship to those
hey,
guys.
Warren, Warren, you got to turn off the playback, buddy. Go ahead, City.
so like this actor recently, I think he's trying to carry on some kind of development in Sierra Leone. What is it, Idris Deby? Or is he
Idris
from
Elba. Elba.
Idris Elba? Right.
Idris Alba. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I
Idris
think
Alba.
he's both Sierra Leone and Ghanaian, something like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna reach a point in time. I'm not telling you what to do, but you have to, maybe, try to take a different means of doing your business to look at people that will really make impact on the Sierra Leoneans' life.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if he's been very selective and like probably have, Dennis might not know this, but the first lady of Sierra Leone, she's my auntie. She is like a family member, and
Right.
but yeah, so I know they're not, but the president is a good guy, and they're decent people, and I know, if for example Dennis gets the right selective good lot that he thinks, that can, make an impact, in the future. That's going to be open for him forever because he's trusted, That's the reality. But the thing is, a lot of African Americans haven't seen the opportunity that Dynasty is trying to show them, because, Sierra Leone and Liberia, for example, these are like for example, FBA, these are the two countries they need to really learn about, like that should be their first footstep to Africa, because there's a lot of history there for them. There's a lot they can learn from there, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and how to settle into the continent. And I think Sierra Leone should be the spotlight, and Liberia, but we know that. And I think,
I got it. Let me get other people on the panel. So
I'm not finished yet.
Okay, no problem.
Go ahead, City.
Sorry,
So let me summarize. So basically, Sierra Leone and Liberia being a backbone, because I remember when my dad bought my property from this American Liberian, the Congo guy from Gele Street, very close to the graveyard. His family, Mr. Cole, his family from Sierra Leone. So he got his family root from Sierra Leone. So they came in, they have some sort of connection with Sierra Leone too. So basically, my reason of saying these are the two countries that have the easier way of absorbing the African Americans. And Sierra Leone get a beautiful weather, because I went to Furabika. If you reach on the mountain of Furabi College, they call it Lion Mountain. It has a very beautiful weather. It's not that hot compared to other West African countries.
Okay,
But
let me pass the mic to Kofi. Go ahead, Kofi. Then after Kofi's King Warden. Go ahead, Kofi. Unmute yourself, Kofi. Kofi. All right, go ahead, King Warden.
All right. As far as these African countries bring in celebrities, it's not going to bring in anything of not much value, because as we already know, many of our celebrities, they don't even help pretty much in the Black community in America. So they think that is going to bring something, but I don't think they really got all the grasp, and they just thinking that this Pan-African thing is all to all of us, and it's not. So I think it's a waste of time, and giving people just citizenship just because they're celebrities, they're pretty much setting themselves up for failure, because they get the wrong person in there, they're done.
Can you expand on that? What's the wrong person? How does that look like?
Well, someone who slips in that's a Jesse Leader Peterson, doesn't pretty much put himself out there as a Jesse Leader Peterson, that's a problem. As we already know, there's plenty of Black people, American Black people there that work for the government, going there for whatever. So I think there was actually a former CIA agent that actually became a musician while he was on assignment in Africa, and became popular, even though he was still working for the government. So there's Black people, you have to be very, very suspicious of Black people, especially in America.
Okay, guys, link to the chat room if you want to call in after the convo. Link is in the chat room again if you want to call in after the convo. Link is in the chat room. Let's see here. Will the isolation strengthen them politically or economically? Will they also change the names of such educational or religious institutions such as the African Methodist Episcopal Church?
What a name. They ain't changing nothing.
Yeah.
Africans are so indeveloped with religion, it's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, when you look at what's happening in Nigeria, it's actually unbelievable. And I don't know if you guys heard what's going on. The French have landed in Ghana. So Africa, West Africa right now is going to be in a little bit of problem. What do you think? Did you hear about that city? That the French in Ghana?
Oh yeah, they're there.
Oh, yeah,
Why
yeah,
they're
yeah,
there?
they are. Yeah.
Yeah, why they're
Yeah.
there? It's so
Yeah.
stupid. Like, why you know that the French are no good in your country and you're inviting them anywhere? And it's like there's a mental illness, or not even mental. It's a mental intelligence breakdown. It's like people don't
Right.
have, especially for most Africans, even in America, their intelligence is gone. Like
Done.
there's nobody
And
thinking anymore. Why would you bring the French knowing that the French don't like you?
yeah, they're the worst. They're the worst outlaws. Yeah, and the funny thing is, like, it's funny if you go back to history, as I always come here and talk about history, which is very important to our present. You know, that region. You know, like for example, the southwestern Nigeria. You know, they're the one that invited this transatlantic slavery. They're the one that started it. I'm going to make it clear. Every single tribe in West Africa were involved in it one way or another. Okay, but they started it. They invited the Portuguese because the Benin was getting smashed by their neighbors.
I just want to say this.
Who were their
Pause
neighbors?
that real quick. Pause that real quick. Mika, go to the 12th floor, close your eyes, and keep on walking.
Yeah. So and then they invited the Portuguese in. I don't know. I think the next. Yeah. So they invited the Portuguese in, and they started trading, and then it turned to human slavery. You know, and I don't know if someone asked who's the neighbor. I don't want to go into tribe, but I think it was the Yoruba tribe. So this is it. And then obviously we know the Benin bronze. In fact, some of the artifacts were just handed over back to Nigeria recently by the previous president. And even that was a hard old deal for it to go back. And these things are there. And then we know for a fact at the moment the people that are calling for Western military intervention in the region are still coming from that region where southern Nigeria is. And then you got, the problem in the Sahel that always had problem with the Arabs fighting black people. So it's just merry-go-round. You get me?
But even
Can I come in
with
here,
the
please?
Libya situation,
Yes.
right? What
And
happened
Libya,
in Libya? It was Sarkozy. Gaddafi gave money to Sarkozy to run his campaign, right? Almost $54 million to run his campaign. So that whole incident that happened destroying Libya, or whatever happened in Rwanda civil war, it was all caused by the French. That's why Paul Kagame decided that there was no more French. They can't speak any more French in Rwanda. They switched to English because of the French. So they have caused a lot of damage in specifically West Africa. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Let me pass it to Elvis. Go ahead, Elvis.
All right, thank you, Dinas. Hello to the panel in the chat. Look, I mean, we have to take a step back and realize that the West, whether it's the United States or France, collaborating with a country, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's usually how well you can utilize that collaboration to your advantage. And I always look at East Africa, right, as a success story, so to speak. Most African countries have a problem with insecurities, especially when it comes to terrorism. So a lot of them seek a more advanced, more capable, military, savvy nations to help them. So in the issue with Al-Shabaab encroaching into Kenya, they couldn't take care of it. I remember 2013, 2014, we was hearing every 6 or 8 months or so, somebody go into a mall, some, Al-Shabaab people opening fire, killing a bunch of people, going to a university campus, killing 100, 200 people. And it was terrible, bombing in Mombasa and those kinds of things. And Kenya reached out to the United States and they formulated a plan, and Kenya, brought some skin in the game, and they fought the terrorism. And now Kenya is one of the safest countries in that region, along with Uganda. So if you're talking about the West, yes, there's bad things that can happen, but if you're a smart nation and you work with them, and you use it to your advantage, it can benefit you. So when you're looking at West Africa, for example, take Ghana, for example, right? Ghana is a well-ran country. You know, they've had peace almost the entirety of their existence as a modern nation. You know, they are they're not known for being exploited by the French, so to speak. I know they were colonized by the British a while ago, but Ghana is a smart country. So when it comes to Ghana, I'm not worried about the French usurping Ghana. First of all, the Ghanaians don't speak the French language. They're not francophone. They're not attached to the hip with France in terms of their culture and their language. So they're different. So you have to put everything in a perspective, not because some colonized francophone countries has been done bad by the French, meaning that nobody else on the continent could work with France. France has done a lot of things in the continent. You take Ivory Coast, for example, that's a success story, at least for a francophone country in West Africa. They've figured out a way to benefit from France. Of course, France is benefiting from them, but most of these things are, are mutual. You're not just going to benefit only from a country helping you for years, and they're not going to benefit from you. Usually, they want to get some resources. They might want to have some military base in that region to kind of surveil whatever is if it's in their national interest. But let's not just poo-poo the idea that working with Western countries is taboo. It's not. There's a lot of capabilities that they have that many African countries lack, and they need those expertise and collaboration in order to build up their military and their intelligence gathering capabilities. So if you and I would say, for example, Liberia, my country, if we stop working with the U.S., I mean, I don't know if CD left a long time ago, but the U.S. had done a lot of things for us. Coming from war, they came in and pretty much saved us, along with Nigeria and some other African countries. Without them, would have probably killed ourselves in many more numbers that we did. So for me, I think working with the West, if you do it smartly and you do it intelligently with a purpose, it can benefit you. That's just my take on it.
I mean,
Yeah,
because you just landed it like that. Because you landed it like that, I agree with you. If you work with smartly, intelligently, it might benefit you. I understand that. Okay, but we know in Liberia, what time did they came in Liberia during the war? Was it at the end of the war or at the beginning of the war? Elvis.
Well, they came in 2003. Bush, usually when it's international stuff, you can't just unilaterally make a decision. So they had to go to the United Nations, get a UN resolution that Charles Taylor
Mm.
had to leave. And once he got that, everything was in full motion. They sent a carrier ship. I don't know if it was a carrier, but like a battleship on our waters. And within a week, Charles Taylor was out of there. And
And
really,
what
I
was the
was
route?
there. I
What was
was
the route cross?
one, one,
Okay,
one
sorry. What
second.
would, what was the route? Okay, sorry. Go on.
1 second. I was in Liberia at the time. It was August 2003, right? And I lived pretty much
Right.
in the same neighborhood as the president. The rebels were shelling the outskirts of that neighborhood. They were trying to come and get the president. And my family, a lot of people who were in that vicinity, had that war not stopped there, they would have came in there and it would have been mayhem. So just the intimidation of the United States forced him to leave and resign and leave the country and save many lives. So I mean, it's you got to look at everything with a bit of
So
nuance to it.
what do you think
no,
was behind
no,
the problem?
no. What Arvis is saying, with specifically with the situation in Liberia, yeah, America gave a lot of help, especially George Bush, arresting Charles Taylor and also his son Chucky Taylor, which is in almost 99 years in prison right now because he's an American citizen. But I want to go back to what you mentioned about Kenya because I'm usually in Kenya. I have a project there. If you look at Kenya, they have a lot of white people, especially British people, have owned land since the days of slavery. They have not returned those land. And a lot of British people carry a Kenyan passport. I was surprised to see that. Even when you go to
Thank you.
Westlands, Kilimani, Kisumu, most of these places is owned by the white British. The British people even have one of their largest military barracks in Kenya. So yeah, they will always protect their interests. I know the reason why they protected Kenya. Even with the civil war in Cote d'Ivoire, they did not turn on the electricity. They make sure all the power was on because the French, they did not want it to leave Ivory Coast at all, even though the civil war was going on. But they refused to leave because they know life in Cote d'Ivoire is more comfortable for them to stay in Cote d'Ivoire than in France. So they sent the French troop to fight against Laurent Gbagbo to get him out of the palais, right? And they killed a lot of Laurent Gbagbo fighters because Alassane Ouattara was in support of the French. So the Westerners, they will always look at their interest. And they fight Liberia because VOA was there. You know, we had VOA, right? We had Coogler factory. So they had a lot of their installation at that time in Monrovia. So they protected all these installations and they make sure they come and fight to protect those. Yeah, that makes sense. But they always look at their interest. If they have the interest in that country, they will fight by all means to protect all these installations that they have.
Right. Can we agree that no nation is altruistic, meaning that they're just in your country for the good of it and they just want to help you because they're philanthropic and they want to help you? It's all about interest. And it has to be mutual interest. They're going to benefit from you and you're going to benefit from them. You know.
And also, Elvis, I understand that, like being the Sierra Leone, the British, if it was the British, seriously, I might trust them a little bit out of all the Westerners. Maybe the British, because like in Sierra Leone, they brought the SAS there and they finished their thing, they packed their bags and they trained the police and they trained the military and they left. You know, they never brought back their base. If it was the British, but I don't know about America and the French, bro. Don't know.
So tell me, what's your?
Let me
Okay,
pass.
sorry, Dennis.
Let me pass the Burkina Bay. Go ahead.
Hey, Dinas, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you. How's everybody doing on the panel?
We're good, bro.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
Cool,
we can hear you clearly.
I think I'm going to agree with I think it's King Warden who said earlier that it was irrelevant for like the celebrities, like for the celebrities, the fact that they're being given citizenship in Africa and stuff like that. So I'm going to have to agree with him, okay? Because really it's true that it's irrelevant. And I'll explain myself a little more. One thing we can see is that in the United States, just like FBA says about like Black immigrant, FBA people, they keep saying that immigrants are fleeing from their country, right? Most of the same celebrities generally flee from Black neighborhoods so that they can hide in white neighborhoods, right? They rarely invest in their communities and they rarely try to make it better. So this is something very important to pardon me? Did anybody say
That was just
anything?
an echo. That was just an echo. Go
Okay,
ahead.
cool. All right, yeah. So, yeah, exactly. And added to that, we can observe that like many of them actually worked against the people, all right, in the United States. Like for instance, Nicki Minaj, very recently, we saw that she was like not just promoting the Republican Party, but also she was promoting also, I mean, she was siding with Donald Trump and saying all kind of positive things about like things that like she shouldn't be promoting. Okay, I don't know if you guys followed that. And a few years ago, like under like the first term, the first term that Donald Trump had, Kanye West was saying all kind of good things, right? He was like one of the first to wear the hat, like make America great again. I don't know if you guys remember that. He was promoting the MAGA party and all that, you know. He even went to the White House. Okay. So yeah, all of this to say that right now, the same celebrities are needed right now in the AES. Okay. Right now, we really need many of them to rush and to promote the AES and to seek, to seek citizenship. Many of them, it would be helpful for the AES if many of them were lining up and if many of them were wanting to become citizens of the AES. And it's simply something that's not happening.
No,
So
there's a
I
reason.
will respond to
Yeah,
Nicki
one
Minaj.
second, CD. Yeah, 1 second, CD. Let me say this
Okay.
quickly to the brother. On the issue of Nicki Minaj, she's in a bit of a conundrum because she came into this country illegally, as she said it herself, and by some way she was able to obtain a green card. So her immigration status is, is kind of shaky. So perhaps she felt like cozying up to Trump will probably help her settle that out. But as she saw, they gave her some kind of fake gold card, and it's not anything that's going to help her. But on the issue of the AES, most celebrities are not going to go there because number one, there's a tribal advisory for that region. There's a lot of terrorism going on there. There's active wars, so it's not like a peaceful country where you can go in there.
It is underdeveloped also,
Yeah,
right?
but so that's why. But again, with celebrities have a lot of following. If they have somebody who is a or B list celebrity, any news that they make is going to be on Google or whatever, Google alerts. Somebody who's following that celebrity is going to see, oh, this person went to Gabon and got citizenship. Oh, Ludacris. I like Ludacris. Let me read more about Gabon and see what they got to offer. So that's why some people do it, because the exposure is a lot greater than just a regular person going to the continent and getting citizenship. I'll pass the mic
But
back
if,
to you.
but then if he's talking about, I've seen example. Kiss Kelly's. She used to live in Harlem, or I think she was married to Nice. She has a huge farm in Kenya, Kisumu, right? I'm talking about huge, employing a lot of Kenyans. I've seen example of that, right? Nicki Minaj, like Harvard said, we don't know her political status. We don't know her immigration status in the state. Yeah, she got to look at her own interests. And to be frank, I'm not against Trump. Most of the things Trump is doing is more political than the reality. Because right now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Agua. He just lifted ban on Agua. He just renewed Agua. Nobody knew that he was going to live that, right? And Agua was signed since
Oh, that's a good news.
2000, but yeah, he lifted the ban on Agua. And then first time in history for Dow Jones to go above 50,000 point, it was on Friday. First in history. Stock market is doing well. And I mean, even the way they're saying that they're deporting Africans, even the guys then that came through the border, it's not like that. A lot of things that people are saying is more political, because you got to do this. Trump got to use politics to make his MAGA supporters happy. But in reality, it's not really happening like what people think of. I'm not against Trump. The economy, his economic, or process that he's following is helpful to me, and I'm benefiting from it. And also, he's protecting the American interest.
What do
So
you what do
Nicki
you think
Minaj,
about
she
him
got
put
to do what she
what
got
do
to
you
do.
think about him posting monkeys of the Obamas, making them apes and posting it on his true social network?
That was completely wrong.
Okay.
And all of these things, you got to know he's going through a lot of pressure, right? The pressure on him is that inflation is killing the country, even though stock market is doing well, which of course I invest a lot in stock market. But the lower people on the ground, the middle class is not feeling the economy like the way he promised. So he got to bring something to just distract people, right? And he getting a hit from Epstein, situation and all of that.
So
But most of these
racism is
things,
a distraction.
right? It's just a distraction. That's how I think,
Yeah.
you know, and he will continue to do that. Especially,
By the way, I
especially,
wanted to ask.
especially the guy that he want the guy to be a Fed chairman, right? And this guy, he's one of the best economists in America, and he is someone that in favor of increasing the interest rate. But
He's also in the Epstein's files as one of his
right,
associates.
right.
Mm,
So this guy, he want this guy to replace Jerome Powell, and Jerome Powell, Trump was the one that put Jerome Powell there anyway. But this guy is in favor of more of increasing interest rate. But for the fact that he won the job so much that, and he declines to be more of like a MAGA supporter, he promised Trump that he's going to decrease interest rate. And that's why Trump said that if he increase the interest rate, he going to sue him, right? So
okay.
that's why
Mm,
everybody started moving their money from the gold to put into US dollar, because dollar was inflated. That's why gold and silver price, value went up. But for the fact that They think that this guy going to increase the interest rate. We're going to give some value to USD. Everybody started moving their money from the go and save and put into USD. So I'm not against Trump at all. Most of the thing that is going on is more political. But I'll remain there.
By the way, I wanted to respond to Elvis because I disagree with many of the things he said earlier. So can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Elvis, I disagree with you when you say that France was very positive for the Ivory Coast. Okay, there's a context that needs to be taken in consideration. Is that the reason why a lot of development happened in the Ivory Coast is because exceptionally, the Ivory Coast is a country where if a French population, like French people enjoyed living in, okay? Of all French colonies in West Africa, Ivory Coast was a place that the French enjoyed living in because of the weather, because of the fact that they had access to the sea, and because of many, many things that they really found accommodating. So for that reason, then exceptionally, they decided to bring a lot of development to the Ivory Coast. Okay, that's the only reason why the Ivory Coast was developed. The case could have been, that could have been the case for Burkina Faso.
What about Senegal? Why Senegal develop also like Ivory Coast? Or almost.
In fact, Senegal was the capital city for all the French country. They were the capital city.
Yeah.
There where everything was going through. So Africa
Right.
just
Yes.
in fact, that's why Houphouët-Boigny, Senghor, they are all serving the French government. They were in the French government. They were those previous
I
that
think, brother, it
Right.
has to do with the capacity of the people that live in that country. They're just more
their
competent.
capacity.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Ivorians are
true.
more competent. The Senegalese are more competent in running their countries with the help of the French.
They know how to negotiate. They know how to negotiate their way. And they know how to make. They know how to cut deals. Okay, this is the factor, and this is the same. This is the same factor with the northern Nigeria during the British colonial days because they know how to leverage. They know how to deal with power. They're not desperate. They value themselves. More than what other people place on them. Is those things. It's what the population.
Let me pass the mic to Questions to Ponder. Questions to Ponder, go ahead.
Right.
Let me just know Questions to Ponder.
Hi, Dynast panel.
Hey, how are you? I'm good.
I'm
How are
doing
you?
very well, Dynast. So I wanted to touch on a comment that someone said earlier in regards to fleeing. That person, I'm not sure who said it, made a very good point. Because when you look at many Black celebrities, I actually placed a link in your chat, detailing how many celebrities go from Black to their families being white. Examples. Hi, Frenchie. Nice to meet you. Hello, Frenchie. Examples being Quincy Jones, Michael Jackson, arguably Michael Jackson, Diana Ross, etc., etc. The NFL, the NBA, they do say that those who reach the 100,000, they generally do marry out. Also, when I read 2015 wedding study, Black men had the highest out of race marriages, so the highest interracial marriage average of any race, of anybody else combined. Only Asian women came in second. So think about that. So once another example is Alfre Woodard. Alfre Woodard's been married to her white husband for well over 20 years now. And then, of course, the entire Jackson family, look at them, the entire Jackson family. And I do love the Jacksons, but they are known colorists. So if you look at anybody else, there does seem to be a level of fleeing Blackness as opposed to fleeing a country. A lot of Black people, once they reach a certain level of income or wealth, they just leave Blackness altogether. How many?
Very good point, sis.
So I just want to thank you. I just wanted to share that. Also, there was another artist who mentioned not just bringing up Shabuzi. I know a lot of people are upset about Shabuzi mentioning immigrants, but there was a Black American artist who mentioned being Black and Black history and just being proud to be Black and winning this award. So he was incredibly excited. So I don't see, I've been searching, but I haven't seen a number of people bringing up him. There just seems to be, Tariq is a troublemaker and he's just focusing on Shabuzi. And Shabuzi has, I believe, immigrant parents. I think West African, I'm not sure, Dynas.
Nigerian.
Nigerian. He's Nigerian.
So, okay, that's great. But there are other Black artists, like you can look up his name. He mentioned he's from here. He's American, and he did mention Black history, being Black American, and just so proud he was of himself and being Black. So as opposed to just focusing on immigrants, focus on people here who are incredibly proud to be Black. And lastly, if you look at all the Black celebrities, Beyonce is the only one who has Black children.
I don't like Beyonce.
But she is Beyonce regardless, and she has Black children. Kanye married out. All of these men have married out, and when you marry out, so goes your wealth.
We should also know who Beyonce is married to.
Kobe Bryant is the prime example of that shit.
Why was Kobe not with he went to prom with Brandy.
Gabriel Union.
He went to prom, and I believe that Kobe's parents really wanted him to marry a Black, marry someone like Brandy, at that level. But I mean, it is what it is. And Kobe married someone who was still in high school. Vanessa was still in high school. Yes, she was. Yeah. So that needs to be more discussed. Also, Dynas, lastly, where's the discussion with Tariq gone for reparations? No one seems to be discussing reparations, but you do see Tariq gambling at the casino. Did you see that? He was gambling and he lost his money. So there goes all the FBA money he's been collecting. It just goes to the casino and his Rolls Royce.
He's no better than Omar.
Tariq got his reparation from FBA, and now he's enjoying the fruit of it. He's out there gambling.
I also want to say Michael Jackson doesn't have any kids. I still don't believe those are his kids.
The museum has turned into like a nightclub. Tariq has his Rolls Royce. He just spends all his time discussing immigrants, but all the discussion regarding reparations amongst himself and also ADOS with Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore, that discussion has just ceased.
What is Antonio Moore with?
Nobody's speaking about reparations, which from the beginning was always the primary argument, was reparations. Furthermore, you absolutely can make the argument for reparations. You 100% can, but neither of them do it. No one does it. And would it make sense, Dynas, and everyone on the panel, for that type of group? You have Tariq, who is clearly a salesman. He knows how, but he's not that bright, but he is a salesman. Then you have Yvette Carnell, who has a political science degree from Howard. And you have Antonio Moore, who is an attorney who's barred in California. Like, he's an actual attorney, barred. If those three, just the three of them alone, to work together to pursue this effort, reparations, everyone would be so far ahead right now. But it appears that both of these groups are just a grift. And many people are saying, and they are saying correctly, that Yvette Carnell is half Jewish and she's a socialist. And she's a huge xenophobe. She's a huge xenophobe.
Oh, she is half white.
Right, she's half Jewish. Okay, great and all, but your argument was always reparations, but that's just disappeared. And she's the same, vote blue no matter who. She's a proud socialist. I mean, and arguably she is a Marxist. They're kind of showing their true colors, and the whole reparations argument was just kind of like something to get everybody, riled up and triggered. But they're all of them are all xenophobes, and they all just want to make money off the grift and, of course, get clout.
Tell you the truth, I don't think they even know what they are anymore. I think they just want money.
I think that too. Like they all have a certain level of success on YouTube. I've been watching Yvette since the very beginning, and when she with Breaking Brown, and she's now approaching, if she's not at 100,000 subscribers. You know, Tariq has a huge platform. ABC News mentioned, has mentioned it. I don't think it was pulled down. I was checking for it. I don't think they pulled down the segment. So Foundational Black American, which is great, that particular, it's now in the public zeitgeist. Okay, so that's super awesome. Then go ahead and continue with the strides for reparations. Like, you don't need someone in Congress. You just need to build a PAC, which Dynas, they have not done all these years. It's not like 10 years now, Dynas. They have not created a PAC. They haven't done so. And we all know Tariq has money. He has money. As opposed to gambling, he could have started
after that lawsuit. He doesn't anymore.
He could start a PAC. We all know how important lobbyists are. Why is Yvette not lobbying? That's her background. She could be lobbying right now. There's so many questions when it comes to these people that you really have to wonder, what was their initial goal to begin with?
Could I ask you a question quickly?
I wouldn't believe that. That stuff they show you, I wouldn't believe that. That's all.
Do you think it's because Trump is in office and they realize that trying to progress on any kind of legislation would be a non-starter for this Republican-ran government?
Oh, that's irrelevant, because remember, Trump, it doesn't even matter whomever is in the executive, the focus really goes with Congress. Nothing happens unless it leaves committee. So it doesn't even matter whomever is president or whoever is president. The focus is committee, these congressional committees. Start a PAC, start lobbying. That's what they should have been doing the past 10 years. If they had been doing this the past 10 years, which would have, okay, this is a very serious PAC. This is a serious PAC. There's money and there's also ground game, because we know FBA is everywhere. There's serious ground game. They would have been leaps, bounds ahead. The most important is to hear Foundational Black American on the congressional floor. It's not so much the executive, it's the congressional floor, because we all know who has the power of the purse, Congress. It's not the executive, it's Congress. And really, who has the power to start bills? It's Congress. The president can just run these executive orders, but nothing really gets done in the Republic unless you work with Congress. The best way to start that is communication through a PAC. Money is speech. Money is speech.
I understand that, right?
But I think FBA, they don't have. I'm not against them. I really want them to excel.
Right.
But it just that it matter they don't have good leadership. Because someone like Tariq, I don't think if he ever had a regular job, I don't think he had a regular job. He's only doing it to make money on YouTube. So the educated one, the one that I think that should stand up, they are afraid to stand up. They need better leadership, right? People that are heading the group, they only there to make money out of YouTube, say negative things about Africa, things about Africans that the other FBO want to hear, so they can get view for them to make money. But if they were to get some educated people, because what was on ABC, I watched it. It was a very good documentary, right? I didn't even know that African Americans have done all these great things for this country. Everybody should go and watch it. But Tariq, they have different goals. They only they're targeting Africans. Africans are like this, Africans like that. But if you look at it, the reality, people that are really getting, putting more pressure on the African Americans are the Mexican, the Mexicans, and
the Mexicans and the Indians.
Right. They are the one that getting rid of African American from their neighborhood. Africans and Caribbean, we are less than 4 million population, right? Indians have 16 million,
right?
Chinese 15 million. A Mexican 14 million, the French have 7 million. We, along with the Caribbean, we are less than 4 million. So meaning that only 1% of Nigerian population is in America.
Yeah.
So
the largest Black immigrant group is naturally.
Let me say this real quick. The worldwide total of all of us together and all is like around 2.5 million. If we're counting everybody on the planet in total. if we're counting everybody, including us, like Black Americans, it's around 2.5 billion worldwide.
No, no,
Well, black,
I'm
well,
just
black,
saying, I'm just saying, I'm just saying the amount of Africans that are in America, including the Caribbean, is not even 4 million. But when you look at the Chinese, about 16 million population in America. The Mexicans is about 14 million. The Indian
Oh, yeah.
is 10 million. But in the whole Africa population is at 1.5 billion. We're not even having 1% of African population in America. So meaning
Yeah, it's because America
less than
doesn't want
4
you here.
million. So
America
right, so
doesn't want you
why
here.
we are not right? So I don't know because we are
It's
the
not
easy target
that they
for
don't want
FBA.
us here. For
It's
example,
just the easy target.
one second, please. In the 19, I think it was 1995 or 1996, when George H.W. Bush started the diversity visa lottery program, and there's about 50,000 spots for the entire globe. So they want to diversify the population of this country. So each continent or each country has a quota. So a lot of people came into this country through the diversity visa lottery program, including myself and my parents. And usually there's maybe 1,000 people maybe coming from my country, and in other places there might be more, it might be less. So yes, the immigration is actually limited from sub-Saharan Africans and
Yeah.
other places. The immigration
Elvis.
thing is from the Mexicans crossing the southern border. It's not from Africans that's coming and flooding this country. That's what FBA don't understand. It's
Yeah.
really controlled.
Yeah,
The immigration is really
yeah,
Oh, is
controlled coming
that
from Africa.
actually? It's not
yeah.
even
I
Mexican.
agree.
You want to know who's really coming here illegally and they don't really care? It's white people.
Yeah,
That's what I said. The Germans about 7 million. 7 million German. French about
yeah.
6 million. We the
I
African,
think
including the
that
Caribbean, we're not even 4 million. So why we should be the target? I think we
I
be the
think
easy
there's
target for them. I think that's why. I think so.
yeah,
Even when you
yeah,
look at the Somalis, Somalia is no, let me say Senegal, right? Senegalese about 19 million population in Senegal. We don't have 60,000 Senegalese in America. Not even 1% of Senegal population. No
right.
African country that have a million population in America. Why we should be the easy target? I don't
And
understand.
you may see a higher concentration of certain countries like Liberia and Somalia because they had wars and they had
Right.
the refugee and
I,
resettlement programs that brought those people here in droves. You know.
and Sierra Leone also, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
when I
Sierra
Yeah,
hear
Leone
they
too.
saying, "Oh,
yeah, and
African fleeing," some country in Africa, like for example, Liberia, I don't think the entire Liberian population. I don't think if 2% of the population have Liberian passport. I don't think so. A lot of Africans don't even
that
travel. They stay in their country. The only time they would think
yeah,
about passport if they want to go abroad. Then that will happen if they have no other hope and they have lost all the resources back home and they will find different options. You know.
Well, I
yeah,
did want to share also is that a judge did block the ending of TPS for Haiti. A federal judge did block that for the Trump administration. So definitely look into that. Also, the United States Census is going to add a new category. The United States Census is going to add a new category specifically for Middle Easterns. So Middle Eastern. So they're like Mina, Middle Eastern, North Africa. That particular area will no longer be counted under white Caucasian. They're going to have their own unique separate category.
right. That's
So that
a
that
good
will
this that
that will be coming up. That's down the pipeline. That has been approved. So on the next United States Census, you will see that category, and it's also going to trickle down everywhere else. So whenever when we do, what's that, EEOC? Whenever we like a job or like a driver's license, or even at the doctor's office, wherever we're asked our race, they're going to have a separate category for Middle East and North Africa. So they're no longer going to be counted within white Caucasian European. That's not going to happen anymore.
that's that's interesting.
Well,
Yeah. The
No,
only thing I
no,
can
look it up
yeah
if
the
you
only
want
thing
more information. Definitely look that up. But that's what's going to
uh,
happen. It started with Biden, but of course, Trump went ahead with it.
Yeah. You know what, CD, like basically when I was growing up in the city where I live in the UK, there was most of the city were owned by, like, most of the houses and the properties were owned by Caribbeans. These are like people that came here from the 50s, like what you call the Windrush generation, right? They
Right.
was really the controlling the city, right? And even the in fact the only mayor in the entire European continent is a mixed race guy that was the mayor of my city, right? And I know him personally. But the Jamaicans, when the Africans were coming down here from London, they were very hostile towards them, really hostile, and they wouldn't. Sometimes they would actually treat them horribly in the nightclubs, and issues like that went on. And then the Somalis start coming in, and over here we call them the Malis. So when the Somalis start coming in, and then they had like a massive problem with the Somali, like this, the gang wars and killing each other over the years. And then some of the black British kids that are born in the city, they start bringing the white kids in the black neighborhoods to help them out fighting African, immigrants. Yeah, and then by the time you know it, we had when the bank collapsed. When did the bank collapse? God help me. Is it 2008? The financial crisis that hits America? Yeah, was it that? Was that time?
2008.
Can anyone? Yeah,
2008.
that's exact. Yes, that's exactly when they start gentrifying the city. Okay, and now all the Caribbeans or Black British that was brought up in the city that actually built the city for what it is after the Second World War, because the city was already bombed. Okay, a lot of the houses that they moved into were actually non-existent. They actually built it from the scratch. These people start getting gentrified like viciously, okay? And now the only people that you find around these neighborhoods is the Africans and the Somalians, okay? And they're the one that got the new shops, and because they start working with the Asians, the Pakistani, not the Indians, because the Indians are not to be found, okay? And sometimes when I go to the Jamaican barber shop, they actually admit to me, like some of my Black British friends that I know, they said to me it was actually really silly to be fighting their own black brother, over, a foreign land, okay? And if they knew all this, that would not happen, because if they look around now, if it wasn't for the presence of those immigrants that they were fighting, there won't be any black people around. There won't be any black votes. There won't be any, because they've been gentrified by the liberals. So this is what I think African Americans need to learn, and also like the conversation yesterday, someone was talking about.
Hey guys, let me read the chat real quick. Cameroon Breezy go.
Okay.
For holla. ABC pulled the FBA segment. Wonder what happened. I don't know. All right,
Hi,
go ahead.
Dinas, hi.
Yeah.
That wasn't pulled. Whatever. That's just. I think someone just trying to be negative. Just trying to be negative.
Sure.
That was not pulled.
Yeah.
You can still. You can
don't worry
go.
about them.
Yeah, you can go and watch it. It's just someone trying to be negative and cause trouble. It's not pulled at all.
Yeah. It's no ignore them. And
That documentary
so,
is really good. It's really, really good.
okay, I need to watch it, man. But the reality is, the FBA or the Africans also need to stop saying bad things about African Americans on the internet, because the reality is, this is how we create section of society between ourselves that we're gonna split into tribals. So I think yesterday there was a brother yesterday that was making a point. I think he was making also a valid point, countering what the lady was saying, that the things that they're hearing online coming from Africans saying stuff. Because, for example, African that went to the US, like being a politician, I don't think they were able to represent African Americans well, because they don't understand their history, what they've been through and their culture that well. So I think that's the same problem we have in the UK here. We have African politicians who have been put into power, but basically you don't find a lot of Caribbean politicians here in the last governing party who was actually quite hostile towards people of color. Most of them they were Africans. And these people sat there and tolerate all the stuff that went on, and they didn't say anything. But I guarantee you, if they were like sort of FBA people with that sort of mindset, or like the Caribbeans, they probably would have stand up to it. That's all I got to say. So I think it's both sides. People need to stop saying bad things about another group of people. And I think populism is actually going into the black population, without us knowing, and we're getting consumed by it without any strategy. I land.
All right, guys. Links in the chat room if you want to call in and add to the conversation. You click on the link again. Link is in the chat room if you want to call in and add to the conversation. You're more than welcome to call in. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, we'll take a quick commercial break.
Danfall offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshe traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danfall, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danfall, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danfall, Africa. To learn more, visit danfall.africa.
All right, go ahead, Delroy. Oh, let me add.
Good, everybody.
Go ahead, Delroy. We're doing well.
You know, speaking about FBA, I was on the road yesterday, and I wanted to call in and tell O'Shea Jew Jackson that he owes Abraham Ture and Dr. Arikana an apology, because she went there with her group. Everything went well. The parliament voted on what they wanted to, excuse me? Yeah, so the parliament voted on what they wanted to vote on, and decided to give them not citizenship, but decided to give them residency only for now, until, you know, I think they have to move there and then establish themselves, and wait about 3 to 5 years, they said, right? So that was the parliament decision. So, you know, I really wanted to call in and tell O'Shea Jew Jackson he has to apologize, you know, because that was uncalled for and was not necessary. You know, that's all I'm going to say.
Okay, yeah, he's maybe
I'm surprised no one brought that up. You see what I'm saying? I'm surprised.
No. Somebody definitely brought it up.
Someone brought it up?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't hear that.
Somebody brought it up. Somebody brought it up, but nobody brought up the fact that
Jackson, he's just
also
a survivor. He got to say certain things on YouTube to make money, right? I think that's why it is. So I don't think he's going to stop that. You know.
Yeah, nobody brought up the fact that he also owed an apology to Ibrahim Traore because he'd been making videos. Right. Nobody brought that up. Because he said many bad things about Ibrahim Traore.
They brought up Dr. Shamora. I forgot her name.
Dr. Arikana?
They're Dr. Arikana, right. They brought that up.
Right. So everything, but he's too quick to always jump on, you know, African Americans, or anybody from diaspora, you know, trying their best to integrate themselves into Africa. He's too quick to always be negative, 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 while he's in Africa doing investment. You see what I'm saying? And it was very disingenuous to even mention Traore's name. You see what I'm saying? Who is he to Traore to even mention his name and to so-called scamming for $2 from Diaspora? Or is he out of his damn mind?
All right, let me
True.
pass
I
it back
agree.
to, go ahead, Yamoja. Unmute yourself, Yamoja.
Hi, Dinus. Can you guys hear me well?
Yeah, you're kind of low, but go ahead.
Okay.
I turn my speakers up. Go ahead.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
respiratory issue. But I I went on that trip, and
Okay.
Dr. Arikana and uh, President Traore couldn't care less about the negative comments. There were 700 of us that went. It's originally supposed to be 1,200 people, and when it changed from citizenship to permanent residency, then some of the people dropped off. Um, it was positive experience. Still waiting for our documents now. They were overwhelmed by the number of people. And then the process had so many elements. So they had to check documents, across 700 applicants. So that's been the holdup. We just I think we had a conference call last Saturday, and you just, got an update, and they're in the process of issuing permanent residency cards. So there's a
But can
planned
I ask
trip.
you a question, sister, when you finish?
Uh, yeah.
Let me ask you something. Why is so many people obsessed about becoming an African citizen right away? Why wouldn't you want to be in the country first to learn their custom and so forth and so on? If you're going to be a residency, that means you're legal in the country. So why are people so obsessed about citizenship? You're a citizen of another country already. If you never become a citizen but become a resident, you could stay there forever and come and go as you want. So I don't see why people are so obsessed with being a citizen.
Well, for me, that's what was offered. So that's what I was lined up to take, right? But for me, I can't speak for others. It would have meant that I would have felt a bit more comfortable investing because I would have a voting right and or have an opportunity to run for an office or hold a corporate or business leadership role in the community that permanent
Hmm.
residents just might not have access to.
That right
But
there
that was
is that right there is
But
a
it would
problem.
eventually come to that, though. You'd eventually get citizenship in any country. I don't care if you go to Russia; they'll give you citizenship.
absolutely okay, yeah. But I'm just telling you some of the people's, I believe what the mindset was, and for me, why I went for it. And that was specifically it. I would love to be able to invest in an area that I have a voting right in so that I could help change some of the laws for lending and whatever other business related opportunities that I would have a chance to support legislation around. So that's
Hmm.
for me. But I'm going to take this permanent residency and make it work for me. And
You're right. And
it's
they
not
said eventually, 3 to 5 years, you could apply for your citizenship.
right.
That's that's what they
And
said.
that's contingent upon who's in power at that time.
Hmm.
But I'm gonna take it and work with it because I do want to have I have a residency in Mexico also,
Hmm.
so
Do you
I want
speak
to have
Do you speak
options.
French?
No, I don't. I do not. I started on some of the classes that they offered. Um,
Hmm.
there were classes offered through ADDI, and then I met with that instructor while I was on the ground, who led the class. So he's continuing to build that out. Um, I learned a little bit differently than how it was taught. So, but I
Hmm.
liked his approach. So I'm working to build up my French skills, but
And
taking
also
the opportunity and then kind of reverse engineering myself into the process, but
what
taking
what
whatever
about the
opportunity.
local language? Is it easier to learn that than French?
Now I found before, like early on, I found some documents that the U.S. government actually had out there, language tools for the Peace Corps and another American entity that was using this training for MOSI language. So there's audio and there's also workbooks and worksheets. So I gained access to that, very early on when the opportunity was first introduced. So I've been working through that too, but just
Okay.
didn't
All
have
right,
any
guys, let
opportunity
me let
to
me let me
use it.
pass let me
Okay.
pass the mic to Kala. Go ahead, Kala.
Yeah. Thanks, Diane. Now, the topic of the show, you said why African countries giving black celebrities, of course, because black celebrities have money. They're connected to power and stuff like that, but it hasn't really been that successful, because black celebrities, look what Africa's up against. They're up against places like Milan, Paris, the Zurich, Switzerland, Tokyo is a hot place for fashion, media, and stuff like that, and so therefore, these countries thought there was more of a Pan-African world than there actually was. In the Pan-African world that is available is like your sister right here, but that's not what they really want. They want somebody that's going to come there. They hear about these African American billionaires in America, and you got 2 million African American millionaires, and they thought that those people would be open. And you got to let's look at it. Let's be honest with ourselves, right? If you're a black person in America, right, successful and stuff like that, right? You got everything going for you. Your kids are going off to college. You got an in-ground pool in your backyard in the suburb somewhere and everything like that. And you got a business. You got stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, all kinds of stuff like that. Wealth hand over fist, right? And you say you work, you're worth like around $4 or $5 million, right? Why would anybody give that up just to go to another country that, okay, the country does not have the infrastructure yet, does not have the roads built, don't have a stable electricity, don't have stuff like this? And what I'm saying is that the people who are willing to do that are like the people like the Bag family, right? The Bag family. They're like, something, we're going to do it. We have a new chance and everything like that. But I really think, like I was saying last night, I think Africa is looking at this. If you go to a country, you get sick, Dinus, right? Do you have health insurance, right? That country has to foot that bill. There was an African American guy who left Ghana and left $150,000 medical bill there. They're looking at the cost of these people that's going over there, right? And also, one thing black people in America got to get used to, the idea that do not think about holding public office in Africa. You may think you're going to do the right thing, right? But Africans covet those political offices because that's the only job that really pays. And they cut, like you in our country. Does everybody know who their city council is? No, we don't care about that, right? Most black people don't pay attention to politics, elected office or whatever like that, the school board, all those people like that. But in Africa, every last single government position is coveted. There's somebody there competing hard for that position because there's no real private sector. So to think we're going to go over there,
be trying to do that off the cuff. I mean, that's
I wouldn't even think about it.
Research.
I wouldn't even think about that. I wouldn't even let them. Nothing. So I wouldn't even let them hear you say that. Because all right away, the people that's going to be against you over there say, "Oh, look at these people trying to come here and take over." Look. I know this because I know from experience dealing with Liberia and dealing with people in West Africa and whatnot. Right away, they're going to automatically call you like they call me a colonizer. You come in here like this. You may not think that, right? But there's people that's just the way the black race is. We're negative,
Yeah, I don't let that stop me here. People
You're
think
negative,
I'm a
bro.
gentrifier here, so I don't let that
Stop.
I think I just a little bit disagree with Scarlett for a little bit. I mean, so, some of it is right. Let's not get it twisted and make up stuff here. To African
I disagree
politicians,
too.
I disagree with a lot of it, but some of it is right. Okay, some countries, it depends on the country. You cannot generalize, Carla. Africa is a massive continent, and you know that.
I'm just saying. To me, I'm just saying like this, right? Has there ever been somebody from the diaspora, African American, even Caribbean, that ever hold any public office in Africa in 70-something years of independence?
They're community level
Hey, Carla.
appointments. So
No,
you know,
you're
like
right.
people are gonna do what they're gonna
Is
do,
anybody getting
but you
paid?
certainly
Is
can't
anybody
do it
getting paid?
without having citizenship.
Is there
So
anybody getting
that's the
paid?
Hey,
point.
Carla.
It can be a long-term option, but that's the point. You can't do it without
Hey,
citizenship.
Carla. Hey, Carla. In Niger, I think there was an Arab that was in power, no? In a black country. There was an Arab that was president in a black country in Niger.
He wasn't Arab. He was actually a light-skinned black man. He wasn't Arab.
Is it sure Arab?
No, he's an. Of course.
Sure Arab.
That's a real blurred line. Some people in there, a black person with like skin like him could be called an Arab, but in America, that dude would be just another Negro.
This is another problem you're gonna face in Africa because Africans, if you're not some of them, if you don't think you belong to this tribe or you have 100% African, they think you're not African, and it's the same people that will go to the West and cry about racism or other stuff. It's just crazy, and that's one thing you got to learn. You got to learn that, and I think that's very backward way of thinking, because if someone is brown skin or light skin or dark skin, it shouldn't matter. If he's black, he's black.
Yeah, in Africa, it does matter.
I know. Yeah, Bazoum, it's a sure Arab. It's not Arab. It's sure Arab are black people who mix with Arabs. People don't understand. You know that better. Sure Arabs and black Arabs. Basically, I don't even know why they call them Arab. Assyrian,
right? Let them come to
the Assyrian descendants mixed with black people.
No, let them come to Mississippi, Florida, Alabama. They'll straighten them out and find out. Just go ride around Tennessee for a little while, and when the rural areas and sundown towns, and then we'll figure out what you really are.
Yeah.
So Carla, what's your point? You shouldn't run for office, right? That's the point you're making?
I like this. I go to Liberia. I'll be there in 3 weeks, right?
No, I think she should run for office. I think Carla is wrong. Definitely.
Let me say this. I have a lot of stuff I'm want to do in Liberia that I can access the country and whatnot, because I'm incorporated there. I got an organization there, and I got people on the ground, stuff like that. I work with the politicians and everything like that. I'm telling them that I want to be a partner with you, right? I want to use my strength in America. When I come to Liberia, whatnot, we want to tie resources in Black America, because Black America has a lot of resources. We got a lot of HBCUs. We hold power in a lot of municipalities in the country. There's so many resources. Like the mayor, Ross Baraka, I think the former mayor of Newark, New Jersey, went to Liberia a few weeks ago to build a sister city partnership. That's what they're looking for. That means that if, say, a particular country needs fire trucks, hey, we got a couple of fire trucks. We need a couple of dump trucks. Oh, we got that for you. Oh, we need help building our library. Oh, say no more. We got a library. We'll shut down. We'll ship those books over. They want those sort of resources that Black America got control over. Your pension funds that you hold that you vote on. Like cities have their pension and sovereign wealth funds. They invest all over the world, right? Why can't we bring some of that wealth and investment to Africa, pension funds, because that's our mother continent, right? They're looking for stuff like that. They don't need any more politicians. Africa got enough politicians. They got that, right? All they need is a leg up and connections to the right people. It's gonna be either us or is it gonna be the Chinese or the Europeans? We gotta make it.
But Carla, there are millionaires investing in Africa. They are African American millionaires investing in Africa.
Where?
Okay, I'll tell you. Well, I know of two. Hold on.
Africa.
Let me tell you who.
Hold up. The people go there. When you say invest, how many of them, I've been studying this for years. How many of them actually had a return on their investment, made money?
Well, it
Plenty.
takes time to have a return on investment.
Carla,
You're in a small business.
Carla, can I tell you so you could check for yourself?
There's not been one success story.
Carla, can I tell you so you could check for yourself?
Well, go ahead.
Can I finish? Carla, can I tell you?
Is killing me.
Go ahead.
There's a brother in South Africa, African American, that owns a hospital.
Mark Blanton, I know him. He's a friend of mine.
Okay, so what are you talking about?
Hold on. Mark Blanton owns a hospital?
No, there's a guy down there that has a pharmacy.
He owns a hospital.
No, hold up.
And there's another one own a tech company, and there's another one own a farm.
Oh, there's a guy from what's that one city in Pennsylvania, middle class city? I forgot. He was a guy that they had an incident when he came back from South Africa. The police pulled over at gunpoint and whatnot a couple of years ago. He's a doctor and he's a pharmacist. He has a pharmacy business in South Africa. That was like years ago. I think he's still there. You know,
I don't think you're talking about the same person. There's a brother that own a hospital, a private hospital in South Africa. There's another one that own a tech company.
The Lucas Group in Ghana, right? He has a surgical center. That's the guy. Lucas.
And Serena Williams invested $50 million in a startup company in Nigeria.
50 million?
50 million.
All right.
In a startup company, a tech company in Nigeria.
How can anybody do a startup tech company in a country with a GDP only friggin' like?
Oh Lord, I mean, you ask me who invest. I'm just telling you who. I'm not telling you about.
People throwing their money away, but when is it? We're gonna say,
bro, they have white companies investing in countries like Nigeria all the time. What are you talking about?
No, look, they invest in things that Nigeria should be doing.
Hey, hold on, caller. Hold on, caller. Delaware, it's 3.3 million, but still millions.
50
million. I heard it was 50 million. It doesn't matter. She invested in it.
But let me pass the mic to well, Kyla, go ahead and end, and I'm gonna pass the mic to Major.
Well, that's good. And I want to say in the chat room, Mika, sit down. You know, for worse off, she's how you gonna be down in Zambia talking smack? You know,
Mika's in America right now.
Oh, she's in America talking smack. She's telling us we shouldn't go to Africa. God damn, man. She's in America living off the good the infrastructure of America that we helped build. And when I talk about we shouldn't go to Africa, what's wrong with these people? This is what I'm talking about. This is the mentality I'm talking about. You know?
Yeah, but Colin, Mika is our resident troll. She's our resident troll.
So, but also, someone said something very.
Who's Mika?
Mika has been followed. Mika has been down since I first started. So, you know, Mika's our resident troll.
But someone said something. I don't know who was talking. Said something very important I want to address. They said the comment. I said this the last couple of nights, Diane, and I said this on a private chat room the other day. I said what started all this, what led to Tariq Nasheed, FBA Cardinal was a reaction of Africans loosely talking online, right? I said this. Give me a second to say this, Diane, right? Because you got a big audience. I want everybody to hear this, right? There's an old saying: "A thought unspoken dies unborn." Look. I say a lot of things that I shouldn't say, right? But to be honest with you, Dias, there's things that I think that I would never say because I know once I say it, it's too late. You're responsible for every word that comes out of your mouth, right? Now, if you're sitting in a room talking to yourself, as long as you don't record and put it online, that's fine. You can say Black Americans suck, blah, 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 you know, but as long as nobody hears it, it's a thought unspoken that dies on. Those somebody don't hear it. That's the power of the spoken word. If you take the time to get on TikTok and knowingly, deliberately do a video just basically talking white supremacy talking points, right? Regurgitating white supremacy talking points, knowing that's going to reach Black America, right? This is why we have this thing. This is what started it all. You know? Now, I'm not saying African Americans are innocent. You know, we know that we're just ignorant Black people in America, right? But if you take the time, some of the stuff I've been hearing over the years, like, God damn, every Black person, every Black woman in America is a baby. I said, my sister's not a baby mama. Every Black person in America are on welfare. I'm not on welfare. My family's very fucking successful. All my family, my family, we're all successful. I come from a long time, like I said, what is this Black America you're talking about? We're all gangbangers. We're all this. We're all that. And these are the things Africans are putting out there. So the response to that is, wait a minute, these Black people are like, hey, we listen to you pan-Africanists telling us about Africa, and this is what we're hearing. Because they don't have a really filtered authoritarian media that we listen to from Africa, where we have real broadcasters. They listen to garbage, people in the gutters of Africa going online, and they're hurting. They come from traumatized cultures and whatnot, and so they go online and they say, I'm going to stick it to those Black Americans. They think they're all bad over in America, whatnot. And then we react to it, and that's the reason why you have ADOS FBA. You know, simple as that. It's an online beef. I don't think it's going mainstream because the majority of black people in America do not hate Africa. We do not hate Caribbeans. We do not like that. But online, yeah, there is a war going on, you know? And so that's what I would say about that, you know?
All right, let me pass the mic to Major Bindu, and then let me read these super chats first. Cameroon Breezy Goat 903, thank you for $9 holla. It was pulled from ABC website and YouTube today. PCH Rise, thank you for the $20 holla. Salute to the panel. Civil discourse among black people encourages me. All right, go ahead, Bindu.
Hello, panel. How's everybody doing?
All is well.
Thank you, Dennis, for this opportunity again. I'll say in regards to the FBA, the celebrities, it's twofold. I'll say, correct me if I'm wrong. The FBA celebrities who go there, I thought they do DNA test before they give them their citizenship. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. So I just don't think they're just handing them the citizenship, just hand over heels. They wanted to make sure they have a trace with the DNA first. Then, secondly, I think it's also a choice. I think it's good both ways because it brings attention. It also is an education. Look, of course, we all know what ISO Speed did. It really brought a generation and attention to a positive attention to what is the positive aspect of Africa. But at the same time, we got to look at we as traditional Africans, the stereotype, if you look at the media, what they've seen in the media, that makes them unfortunately be doing those stereotypes, which I think is wrong. But I really think it goes both ways. It goes those two segments. It goes both ways.
Hey, Dynast.
Go ahead.
Please make a note, like, and maybe in October, take a moment and make a note to reach out to the Pan-African Film Festival here in LA, because here we are again, another year, and the film festival is, I think, the next 2 weeks, starting this weekend, and your documentary should be in it. So I'm going to set a note to remind you in October of this year for next year.
Appreciate it.
Film festival is here. Yeah, so vendors are here, several filmmakers are here.
Is it still at the Baldwin Hills Mall?
Yes, they tried moving it 1 year post-COVID. Can't remember what year it was, and that didn't go off too well. They tried to move it to Fox Hills Mall, so it's back at Baldwin Hills Crenshaw.
Okay, cool. All right, guys. Links in the chat. The city dropped off. All right, guys. Links in the chat room if you want to call in after the conversation. Click on a link if you want to call in and add to the conversation.
Is that sister still on that went to Burkina Faso?
Yeah, she's right here.
Well, let me ask you a question, because a lot of people have been coming up with all type of theories of what's going on in Burkina Faso. So in a short statement, could you tell me exactly what's going on?
Like, we didn't get any exposure to any jihadists or any kind of terrorist activity. We weren't aware of any. Many of us registered with the Department of State, and didn't get any alerts while we were there. We just had all access. A couple of days I attended some of the ceremonies, and we were in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs hall, where they meet, sitting around the table. It was a true. We got to exchange business ideas. Those of us who were business owners put together our capability statements and business profiles, and some were able to submit them and present them. We were all able to submit them, but some members were able to present them. We just had access to political figures. It was really an astonishing opportunity to be a part of. And so
you also get to see the various development that's going on around the areas, right?
Yeah, absolutely. From medical to technical helpful to. We
His
also went on a
sister,
real estate tour and saw some
sister
of the
Yomoja.
developments. Yeah.
Elvis was here earlier, and he suggested that the reason why the celebrities are not coming to Burkina Faso was because it was infested with terrorism and all kind of bad things. Like,
Listen, I
what
was
do you have to tell them?
downstairs every night enjoying cocktails at my hotel, and talking with local residents and hotel staff, and
Awesome.
got to do a tour and meet with the hotel manager and the hotel general manager. Just all access that you just would never get here,
I-
and it was great.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's
So,
great.
Dynus, we don't know where Elvis is getting his information.
Yeah, I was there. I have no reason to try to paint a picture that wasn't clear. I went, took whatever precautions, you know, you can, and just no different than me. I go to Dubai often, so I didn't do anything different that I would go there. And there's, you know, opportunities for insurgency and all kind of things around the country, around the world. I didn't feel any. I slept like a baby, actually. I hadn't slept that well, in a long time, and certainly not since I've been back. So I just had great opportunities on the ground, had business talks on the ground, got back and put together a proposal that I'm waiting to continue to negotiate on. So uh, I don't know what information is out there since we've been back. I know there was a lot of kind of riffraff before we left, but if people are still talking, then they're making things up because they're
It
too
is
many
sad
people
that
are saying,
Elvis is no longer here to hear you.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
but Elvis is he knows the truth, but just too ignorant to say the truth. Right? I don't know if it's ignorant or jealousy, but I came to a conclusion that those three countries are going to develop so fast that you're going to close your eyes and open it up, and it's going to be a whole different ball game. And that's what's going to happen because they are determined. They are determined. It's either that or die. There's no in between. And this is what people are not understanding, and they're not getting it. They are
yeah,
serious about what they're doing. They are 100% serious, and they will die to protect it. That's why, and I told Dennis this before, America only recognizes strength. You see the delegation that's going to Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger right now, both from Europe and from America. They're sending their delegation because they're going to have to use soft power because the hard power is not working, is not going to get through. You see what I'm saying? These people are determined, and America respects that. You see what I'm saying? They respect that. I know this place. I've been here for 50 years, right? They respect strength and strength only. They don't respect weakness. If you're weak and you give in to them, they will take advantage of you. You see what I'm saying? That's
I
all I'm
mean,
going to
you
say.
can't listen to all the crap out there, even from the federal side, because
Exactly.
Burkina was on the yellow list at the time that I submitted to the Department of State a proposal to bring skills training to women in the country. So that
Mhm.
was it was due in July, and I submitted that, and they were on the yellow, and they were, touted even in the media at that time as a problem place. Yet the U.S. was funding programs to
Mhm.
help women and children in the country.
What, what
So
what
found
if
that
I tell
information on grants.gov. I've
you?
come
But,
to this channel several times and told people to go out there and look from Africa
I
and
have
any
I have
other country.
my blood pressure raised on this in this channel because of ignorant people. What if I tell you my country, Jamaica, which is across the street, right? Literally across the street, right, from the U.S. They get put on lists sometimes for crime and different type of stuff. We on the alert list. We're at number 2, number 3, all kind of goddamn thing. Everybody ignore it because we get about 5 million tourists a year, most of them white. Okay, from America, from all over the world. Even though we're on some kind of bullshit list that they always make up when they're ready. They put you on the list, they take you off list. They put you on the list, they take you off the list. That's what the U.S. does. I don't know why people can't understand that by now.
Exactly. And the point I'm bringing forth is that they were said to be so dangerous, but yeah, there's an opportunity to get a $35,000 grant to go there and do services. Now, if we listen to that, then that takes us business owners out of the competition realm for others to get funded to go there and be on the ground and do the work.
Sister,
Because we listen to those
exactly.
things, others don't.
I saw a bunch of white tourists. I saw a bunch of white tourists in Niger just a couple of days ago. American tourists. You should see them smiling and kicking up their feet. Okay, while black people here is talking, oh, I'm not going there because of this and that and that. While they sit on their feet. I saw another one last year, a year ago, during the height of the jihadist movement. These two white women, one of them from Israel, driving all over goddamn Niger, right? Going to the villages, eating the food, doing this, doing that, and all different type of thing. And black people here, right, is talking complete nonsense because they refuse the facts, right? They refuse the facts, right?
I sat
Wait, guy. Let me pass the mic. We gotta let people wait. Go ahead, say James.
Hi, Dennis. Thanks for bringing me on, and hi to the panelists. And it's a great topic, but I'm not going to stay here long. And I was listening to the sister that went to Burkina Faso. And hi, sister. I'm from Burkina Faso, and hi. And I really, based on what I'm hearing from you, I really admire your courage. You didn't listen to what you were hearing about the bad things that was happening in the Sahel. You listened to your gut and you went in there, you saw for yourself. And I can guarantee that you learn a lot on your trip, right? And I hope Dennis bring you back and have a decent conversation with you, because there is a lot of propaganda going on about the Sahel here. I try my best to educate people and they're not listening. As far as O'Shea, Dennis, I would hope for you. Yesterday I was listening and I couldn't call yesterday. He stood on your channel and he said, every statement he made about Arikana is correct. And the lady here went to Burkina Faso. I would love for you to bring all the scammers, all the people that Arikana scam on your show so we can have a conversation. O'Shea also went on to say Burkina scam Black American and their diaspora because they were thirsty for money and they wanted these funds to build Burkina Faso. He said that on his channel. So I'm gonna
for the presidency. We didn't get charged.
Thank you. That's what I'm telling you. We need to get to the bottom of this. My sister, we're from the Sahel. That part right here, we're not gonna let that go. I'm being honest with you. We're not gonna let that go. The slandering that was happening, O'Shea and Go Black, we're gonna get to the bottom of this. Whoever paid these people to slander us in this way, we're gonna have to get to the bottom of it. If you don't want to go visit the place, you don't have to go. But slandering the people, slandering their president, I think this is a gut punch. We had to. When I was listening to them, I was like, God damn, seriously, like, do we really have to do this? Do we really have to do this? Like you said, I followed everything.
Dr. Arcana says she's going to sue him.
She has to. She has to. She has to. Yesterday, when I heard him say that he stand on every statement he made about Arikana, this is grounds for lawsuit.
And Arikana is a millionaire. She has her own clinic in Tennessee.
You know, we shouldn't be allowing this behavior to happen. The guy lives in Africa. Regardless of what he's doing, he's not entitled to speak on a different country that he doesn't know anything about. Whether you get an email or a letter from somebody who's part of a group telling you stories, you gotta do your own research to figure it out. You don't put it out there. You know, you don't know Ibrahim Traore. He doesn't need your money. You know, all he wants to do is to help. When you guys went in there, you listened to Traore. He told you the same thing. I heard people advising you not to come here. I heard that when you guys were meeting him. He said that.
important. It's not that serious. Black America is not thinking about y'all. It's not
Sir,
that serious.
relax. You gotta relax.
No,
It's not that serious for you. It's not that serious for you. Let
it's
other
not that
people
serious.
voice that. No, sir. Let other
So
people voice
important.
their
You
opinion.
are not important.
Can,
We not
can you
sitting
respect
up
can you respect my opinion? That's all I ask you to do.
You can
Respect
say
my
what you
opinion.
want, but I'm Black
All right,
American.
Donis.
We are
Donis,
not
thank you
thinking
very much,
about you.
man.
You
All
are
right, thank
not
you very much.
Hey, RB, I'm gonna get you.
Who's that in here?
Oh, Lord, you. Go ahead, Shaka Zulu.
Who's that? Who's that?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Let me pass it to Shaka
The
Zulu. Go ahead, Shaka Zulu.
FBA guy, yes.
Let me
Yeah,
go ahead,
how
Shaka
y'all
Zulu.
doing? How y'all doing?
Go ahead, Shaka.
Yeah, I wanted to ask a logical question. Like, okay, how does this citizenship thing work? Okay, what you do your DNA test and it traces back to just the country. They don't like. There's like, okay, like let's say I do a DNA test and it says my family comes from Ghana. It don't trace back to somebody on the ground. That's the lineage is still alive or whatever.
Well, I mean, if you
They
if you
can't
go on
even trace their own lineage.
oh God damn. Lord, don't. Hey, RB, one more time, I'm gonna remove.
Donis, take him off the show, man.
Well, no, I'm gonna give him an opportunity to speak. Let me answer Shaka Zulu's question. So Shaka, there's in like on ancestry.com or 23andMe, you can actually upload your results and it can link you to certain I guess extended family that are in Africa.
That's okay. Like
I know of someone that traced it right to the ethnic group.
All right, let me. That boy. Stop with the
I did my DNA speech.
with
my DNA test.
the Jamaican
Shaka Zulu, you breaking up.
All I'm trying to say is like, okay, Lynn.
Yeah, you're going in and out though.
Nah, I'm just saying, once you trace your DNA to a specific tribe or specific country, if the family members are still alive, can't you just get automatic citizenship through that? Like, why do you have to like?
I don't know, Shaka. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, that's all I'm trying to inquire, because I think that'll be the best route. Because if your family's technically still there, you know what I'm saying? Why they just can't just say, okay, listen, welcome back home. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you can fill out all the paperwork, but why you got to go through like residency and all that? You know what I'm saying? It's different if you try to go to some country where your DNA or your lineage don't trace back to. Like, okay, if you want to go to South Africa, it's okay. Yeah, I just want to be a resident or citizen of South Africa. But if you came from West Africa or East Africa or the middle parts of Africa, it's just automatically just say, okay, all right, your family's right here. You know what I'm saying? You get to know your family, and you know what I'm saying? Boom, you're part of the system. You're part of society.
Well, one second, Shaka. Hey, RB3000, none of the interrupting and yelling, all right? Or I'm gonna kick you off. All right, go ahead, Shaka Zulu.
Yeah, that's all I think. I think will simplify matters. You know what I'm saying? Because like, okay,
typically isn't
like
tied to
all right.
DNA.
Let me give you a prime example. Okay, my mother's Jamaican, right? My father's from Antigua, right? You know what I'm saying? I can literally go to Jamaica.
No, Shaka Zulu, I understand. We understand your point.
Okay,
Yeah, we
okay,
get
that's
it,
what.
but residency typically isn't tied to DNA. It's citizenship that is. Residency is about
No, but I'm not
typically
just
filling out a
specifically.
form and
I'm not
saying
just
you're.
specifically talking about the DNA. I'm talking about going back to your family.
Well,
Like,
you brought up residency or citizenship. You put those
okay, I
in there.
understand that, but I'm talking about it will be simpler if I can trace my family back to a certain tribe or a certain country, and they
What if
just
the
say, okay,
Hey, hold on, no. Hold on, Shaka. Shaka, we get it. Let me pass the mic, but we get it because people
all
been
right,
waiting.
man,
But
all
we
right.
get it. Go ahead, Ola. Unmute yourself, Ola.
You guys don't have any records of anything in Africa. All these countries.
Man, god dang, man, I'm trying to be patient with him. Go ahead, Kobe.
He's too loud. He could like tone it down like 2 notches. Yeah, I feel like the celebrity of the Black American could bring investment, and I feel like if Sierra and Russell Wilson, if they land safely there and they build industries, I think NFL players, other athletes, other
So
than the NFL,
are they going to make money?
football, basketball, they're gonna come
Build
with
it
investments as well.
yourself, like
Okay.
everybody else. Build it yourself.
God
Can
damn,
a Black
man.
American in Africa speak for
Giannis,
us
take him off
streets?
the show, please. Take him off.
All right,
I did.
I mean, I just think we
Sierra
need to be
and
clear on
hers.
vocabulary and understand process and
I'm not finished
what
yet.
things
But go ahead.
represent. So residency rarely is, if ever, is tied to DNA. It's a matter of saying, "Hey, I want to live here," and filling out whatever forms. And some countries want you to be financially capable of doing so. Others have other processes
Well,
that.
Emoji, let Kofi wasn't done. Go ahead, Kofi.
Yeah, right. The investment part, the celebrity, but I don't think it's wise to bring people into a country that's going through change like this. They're going through coups. They're going through assassination attempts. I believe it's very dangerous to then place hundreds, if not thousands or hundreds of Black Americans there, because any other media could just say, "Oh, a Black American was involved." Anyone with a 250,000 subscriber platform could say, "Oh, I think it was the Black Americans. It was the African Americans," and that would be very dangerous for us all over the African continent. I do think people need to be vetted before they're given citizenship to make sure they aren't agents, right? And I think that's what Burkina Faso is doing. But then in Benin, right? Benin just had it's coup, and I'm like, okay, if I'm Russell Wilson and Sierra, I don't want to be there if the president's life is being is at risk, and me being around the president is also gonna cause suspicion. Now these things happen in the 1940s, I believe, or 1950s, when it came to the tour of Louis Armstrong, right? And they used Louis Armstrong to pretty much set up Patrice Lumumba, and he got assassinated. And the Pan-African movement and the United African movement didn't collapse, but it got very weak there. And then Kwame Nkrumah was next.
Anybody that basically said Louis Armstrong was a Pan-African, that's the problem. Anybody fool can get up there and say they're Pan-African. Louis Armstrong, you gotta be kidding me. A Pan-Africanist, it's a joke, Who founded a Pan-African? The CIA?
He was against any collaboration with any of the CIA or the government, but they still used him. They still used him because they invited him.
Ali Foreman fight was a CIA ops too, to put Mobutu in a good light in Africa and the world, because that fight was supposed to be held in Liberia, but the stadium wasn't built in time.
But an African could still do that. But an African can still do that to another African anyway, so it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but the whole Ali Foreman fight put Mobutu in a good light. He was like a hero. Oh, look, his profile was all over the major magazines in the world and whatnot. He went from a ruthless dictator. This guy was a cold-blooded murderer, Mobutu Sese Seko. He used to kill people for sport and fun. He used to shoot people for sport and fun. Say, hey, look, he would line people up, his opposition, and just have his children, everybody, just while the guy sitting there screaming for his life, just blow him away just for fun. He ruled the country like a terrorist, and he was supported by the West. And
look, we have freedom of speech in the United States, and I believe we had freedom of speech for the past 400 years. Now, if someone hears O'Shea or Tariq Nasheed criticizing Africa or making jokes on Africa, I hear people threatening their lives. and that shit
A lot
needs
of
to
our
stop.
African brothers and sisters don't understand freedom of
That
speech.
shit needs to stop, and we can't idolize people making back to Africa movements, because I believe that type of idolization is very dangerous.
The
Now, just because he
freedom of
speaks,
speech is limited, bro.
it doesn't mean you should threaten a person's life. And I've been hearing that sentiment on his platform and others, and I just think that's very dangerous.
No, we're not threatening. No one's threatening. Who's threatening his life?
The Queen Bee yesterday was sounding very threatening.
Well, one
And
thing
people cheering her on.
he needs to stop instigating and stop lying. That he needs to do.
Only alternative is violence, right?
You see?
Violence, right? So that's what you're saying. He's not going to stop. He's not going to stop.
Well, he's already risking his life, right? He's in Uganda. Tariq Nasheed comes back and forth. African American.
How is he risking his life in Uganda? Why is he risking his life in Uganda?
I feel like if I say I'm a Black American in Africa, someone could easily equate that to FBA talking points and try to threaten me, and I think that's crazy.
There's plenty of African Americans that live in Africa. I don't understand. There's thousands, tens of thousands.
Right, exactly. I don't understand the point.
What is the point?
There's a few hundred, but
my point is let's just take precaution, and that's it.
There's 5,000 in Ghana alone.
Those are people from the Caribbean.
Allow people to talk and prove them wrong.
African American, Caribbean, same damn thing. I mean, what the hell?
Same thing.
We're from the diaspora, bro.
I don't consider myself a diaspora, bro.
All right, fine. That's good.
I'm also African American. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
The difference is you could talk shit in the United States. Black Americans are not going to kill you. Now, if you talk shit in Africa on Africans or on Caribbean people that
but you can walk into Walmart and get shot too.
They'll kill you, shit.
You can walk into Walmart and get shot. What?
But that's regular stuff.
Violence in America.
Yeah. So what?
We've never had political violence.
Like, when did
As
we
I said,
become so
as I said,
We have a lot of political violence.
Paul, are you out of your mind?
As I said, it doesn't make sense.
Hold on, Africa. Colin, when Donald Trump got elected, motherfuckers murdered shit down.
Exactly.
Hold on. Yeah, those were left. I'm talking about Black America, right? Saying that we don't get what we want. We're gonna do this. Now, some people do rabble rouse when I said political.
White American does. Well, white American does.
Have you ever seen two people like the Iran, the Sandinistas and the Contras killing each other in the jungle to take over territory? Are they like a Democrat A group, Democrat B group battling for control over Chicago and stuff like that? No, it doesn't happen. We don't have that sort of violence.
What? What? So what about what happened in the civil rights? Towns burning down and all kind of things. What are you talking about?
You misunderstand. We never instigated any violence on each other over politics. Did we get violent sometimes with white people? We fighting back? Yeah. But when I talk about violence, it means that Dynas believes one way, I believe another way. Or let's say Umar Johnson and Tariq Nasheed, right? They both see the world differently, right? They're not going to see Umar people meet up with Tariq people, and next guns are going to come out over politics. Now, if it was rappers, yeah, you might see an East Coast versus West Coast. But as far as politics, that has not happened yet.
Bro. So I mean, it could. I still don't.
It could happen.
No, sure, it could. Anything could happen, but I don't think politics. You know why? You know what the problem is? You want to know the real problem, right? Black people simply don't have the numbers, right? Only thing you might gain is a city of Newark. Well, who cares about that? Or let's say Detroit or something like that. But when it comes down to national politics, Black people don't have enough numbers, right? That their political numbers don't make a difference, Even when you look at anywhere Black people have political power, they still don't control the economics, right? The media, the economy is still controlled by whites and Jews and Asians and everybody else. So we have Black people in office, right? But what's the heck are you going to do? All you do is get in office to facilitate with the Mexicans and everybody else. Well, we don't have a political any political power in this country to fight over. That's what I'm talking about. We don't.
So you don't
All
want
political power is putting a black face in office so he could do the bidding of the Democratic Party. Let's be real with ourselves. So there's nothing to fight over. That's why I don't do
so
it.
it's always been like that. What's the problem?
What I'm saying is that's why people say, "Oh, it's political." Black people are not politicized to the point where politics even matter. And the only people that benefit from politics, if you're a black person and you're on EBT or Section 8, yeah, them motherfuckers will get violent. We cut their shit, you know. But the average black person who's not on EBT, don't rely on the government for anything like that. Yeah, we don't care who's in office, you know. We don't give it doesn't really affect us. White people does affect them because they have things like a legislation. They want to know what roads are going to be built, whatnot. They might benefit from that. We don't have the numbers or the strength to where politics could benefit us. We don't have the numbers or the strength, anything like that.
But black people do care who's in office, though. They should almost kill Trump.
Diane, tell them. Yeah, black people say who's office, but be honest with yourself, it doesn't matter if Joe Biden or Donald Trump's in office. That's something they scare tactic black people. Anyway, it does not really matter. Like people, oh, the Reagan years.
It mattered to them.
1984, my parents voted for Ronald Reagan, right? That's when we bought it. We had a new house, everything in the suburbs. We had a pool and everything like that. So people look like, oh, Reagan years were terrible and whatnot. I'm like, for who? You know, I'm like, yeah, some people, but the bottom majority of black people were getting good jobs. Black America was thriving back then, you know, in the 80s, you know. So that's a bunch of nonsense and whatnot. Black politics don't really affect directly black people unless you're depending on the system. If you're one black people that depend on the system for everything, yeah, politics. If you're DEI black people that scrub and ask us for a DEI job or position or bureaucrat, whatnot, you know, or if you're somebody like friggin' the Al Sharptons and whatnot who just grift and get handouts from the Democratic donors and whatnot, yeah. Who's in office? Yeah, Trump cut off the gravy train to a lot of these black so-called activists. Yeah, they're mad. You know, they got their shit cut off. You know, they're irrelevant. That's why Roly-Poly Martin is all around. Y'all got to get out there. Like, he's going to come across the counter and hit somebody. They Rolly, ain't nobody scared of your big ass, you know. You going to come out there like you going to hit somebody because they ain't voting Democrat. You know, like you going to do something. Roland Martin, you know. The black politics in America is dead, you know. Black people need to start focusing on geopolitics, global politics. That's when we start becoming international geopolitical people. Well, local politics in this country are dead. We simply don't have the numbers. Now Hispanics have outpaced us and whatnot. It's over with, you know. And they got a divided black community. You got the Caribbeans, and you got somebody said I look like how the fuck I look like Roland Martin. Roland Martin's face is like wide as I don't know what, man. What the fuck I'm fucking trim. I like Roland Martin. Shut the fuck up, you know. People always talking shit, you know. Anyway, but the bottom line, that's what it is in this country, you know. It's like black politics, you know. Now with the FBA movement, now we can't even come together based on race. We got Caribbeans divided, Black Americans divided, because Caribbeans they want to be identified with the immigrant struggle. Black Americans like, man, what about us? You know, we got our own struggle, so we're divided on that. And the FBA ALS movement, they further divided. So it's nothing coming together, you know. So it is what it is.
I don't know why people keep fighting so much. It's absolutely ridiculous to me.
No idea, you know. But that's what people want, man. So that's why I said Black America, the black race of America, and these North America is weak. And it's fragmented, broken. So hooray for FBA going mainstream. Hooray. FBA mainstream, not what? Not a damn thing, you know? Ain't gonna put no money in your pocket, ain't gonna do nothing for you, you know? But hooray! Hooray, 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 you know, hooray, FBA all day, you know, Bantam Bandika, FBA all day, FBA all day, that's all you got. FBA all day, I mean, like I said, I'm a ringmaster. I have a circus of deadly clowns, you know? And so, anyway.
Well, Carla, let me ask you about Liberia, right?
Okay, come on, I'm about to start my show up, right? If you want to come on my show.
Are you going over there in about a couple weeks, you said?
I'm start my show now. I'm already late, 8 minutes late.
Okay.
So I'm start my show and whatnot.
You can ask me about Liberia. I know everything there is to know.
Who?
Kofi.
Who said that?
You're
Coach,
from Liberia?
no, I study Liberia. I have Liberian friends.
Who are you?
Okay.
Your
Yeah,
name?
I talked to
Your name's Kafara.
I'd rather ask Kala, 'cause Kala's been there back and forth.
Yeah, so I'm the expert on Liberia. Let's not. Yeah, you want to know about Liberia? I'll tell you the truth. Good and bad. Good and bad. Good, bad, and different.
Delroy, ask your question. Ask your question.
Well, hold on. I gotta go. Next time, ask Dinas. He wants to do a
All right,
Liberian show.
I'll ask you the question.
All right, I gotta go. I gotta go. Really. Y'all take care. Dinas, thanks for having me. Y'all have a good night.
Anytime.
All right.
All right, let me ask some. I was speaking with someone. I think it was somebody from Liberia, and I was telling them that I think that one of the steps to develop the country, as far as tourism, is to rebrand the Monrovia. So he said, "Nah, Monrovia is as nasty as this and that." But I was telling them that the city of Monrovia is very historical, right? So I say if they clean up the buildings, clean up the all the garbage and stuff like that, there's a type of tourist that love that authentic feel. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So because I saw a whole lot of videos on Liberia, and it's what I was focusing on the city area, and the is very historical, right? You got beautiful architecture, absolutely beautiful architecture, but Liberians don't see that as beautiful architecture when it is. You see what I'm saying? So what do you think about that?
Did you know that the indigenous people of Liberia fought against the British and the French to stop them from encroaching further on their sovereignty? And this is a huge push. And they're also responsible for letting and safeguarding the Black Americans and the Caribbeans and the Africans who've been captured and turned back, just like the Amistad. They like kings like Boswing and King Peter. Even though they participated in the slave trade, they also turned a new leaf and participated in protecting the formerly enslaved of coming back and making sure they get land and settle. So we need to highlight the contributions of the indigenous people is very, very important.
Thank you very much. Thank you, because I'm from Sierra Leone. I can actually account for that.
Hey, guys,
That's what I said earlier.
Let me pass the mic to question to ponder, and then Jad, and we got Wiki IRL after that. Go ahead, question.
Hi, Dinas, thank you again. I just wanted to say first, Kala respectfully is incorrect. Black people are the determining factor for these presidential elections. Kala, I was actually with you, I think, what was that, 24? We were focused on Georgia. Once North Georgia was cleared out, the wait was for, that Fulton County area. Once Trump kept his hold, you already knew, I remember you saying it, that Trump won. You just did not realize how big Trump's win was going to be, because he also picked up Pennsylvania, PA, and of course, Michigan. The only reason Trump was able to win was twofold. If Black people do not vote Democrat, the Democrats do not win. And you also made a very good point, which something I have been saying for years, and also other astute political scientists, is that we don't have swing states, we have swing cities. And these swing cities just happen to have a significant Black population. You cannot win without the Black vote. If enough Black people voted Democrat, which just did not happen in 24, for a multitude of reasons which are relevant, but the fact still remains, Black people did not vote Democrat. If they don't, Democrats cannot win.
Can I speak for a second?
No. 1 second.
Well, hold on, as Jay, then I'll pass it to you, Wiki.
Can I speak? Oh,
and I do understand people are looking at numbers. Yeah, that makes sense, but it's where the numbers are. For example, I do know that Hillary Clinton did win the majority of states back in 16, but Trump did win the majority of counties. He did win, if I have that correctly. So we
No,
all
you
know
don't.
we all know how the
That's not correct. That's not
we
correct.
all,
Look it up.
we
Look it
all
up.
anyway, we all know how the Electoral College is and how it's situated. Each state is who contributes their vote. So just because you may necessarily have the numbers, Hillary won the popular vote, but that's irrelevant. That is just simply irrelevant. With the Electoral College, just because you have the numbers does not mean you have the vote. Moreover, where these swing states are, because these elections are decided in swing states, that's where it matters. These swing states, the most populous cities, have a large Black population. Look at every swing state. Look at their most populous cities. Look at the demographics. You will see Black people. It's just been this way for about 50 years now, these particular cities. It's just right now, it has just turned to these particular states. We all remember, some of you remember Florida.
Hey, quick question, Paul. I gotta pass because Jay's been waiting. So let me pass the mic to Jay. Go ahead, Jay.
I just want to say that Black folks, I don't agree with the sister fully with that. Black folks contribute to the Democratic, to the presidential elections as all groups that vote contribute, right? But the Democrats win in coalitions, right? The only racial group that votes predominantly Republican at this time is white folks. Every other group votes predominantly Democratic, and in that coalition with white folks, with some white folks, right? So in coalition with the white folks, probably like something like 55% of, or probably like 45% of white folks with the coalition of other quote unquote minority groups, right? That's the Democratic electoral base, essentially, right? And if you look at the swing states like a Michigan, I would venture to guess that you have cities in Michigan with lots of Black folks. But if you look at the total population of Michigan, it's not very high on Black folks. That is why when you look at the Senate of the United States, there are probably, 3-4 Black people in there? And those are statewide races within states. So if Black people had this much power, right, even within the states that we call swing states, that we're thinking that the Black people are making this big contribution, you would have had more Black senators in there in these statewide races. And it's really not that big of a number.
Okay, yeah, but you're confusing like ratio to raw numbers, whomever is speaking or whoever is speaking. You're confusing the ratio to the raw numbers. The ratio of Black people, and I didn't say, remember, I specifically said the cities, these large cities,
right,
that all have a significant Black population. You don't have to be but the majority, which is raw number. I'm just speaking about the ratio is enough to tilt the state. That's all I'm saying. Also, Dinas, I was incorrect. Hillary Clinton won 2,584 counties in 2016. Trump won only 472 counties. Think about that. And Trump still won the Electoral College, therefore the election.
All right. Let me, Jay. Are you done, Jay?
Well, the other thing I wanted to ask is that you mentioned earlier that after Trump's election, stuff was burnt down. I'm trying to figure out what was burnt down after Trump's election.
Are you the first one? They were rioting in Portland. You had the Women's March. They were rioting over there, rioting in L.A. Definitely after Trump.
I know you had the Women's March after the
in 2016. They started rioting after Trump won.
That was mostly white people rioting.
I know you had the Women's March, and I don't remember the Women's March having like.
No, you definitely had it in Portland.
Well, Portland, I remember some of that stuff after George Floyd. Now,
no. Even after Trump won his first in 2016, they people were rioting.
Okay. Well, the other one thing I wanted to mention is that the First Amendment of the United States, right? It gives people the right to protest, right? peace, and it does say peaceably protest. So protesting because someone wins an election or whatever, and you peaceably protest them, that's constitutional. Now, if you start dealing with
Well, yeah,
violence, that's
Jay, we're very aware. Yes, yeah, I know. All right, go ahead, Wiggy.
Oh, I was gonna say, peaceable protest is not obstructing the police, and ICE are the police. You can't obstruct the police. You can't like park your car in front of somebody while they're trying to arrest somebody. That's not okay, dude. At that point, you might be shot. Like this dead ass. Like that's a real fact.
Okay, let me rebut
Like,
that.
hold on.
So,
like if you see somebody getting arrested and you park your car in front of the police, like trying to arrest them, you know you're probably gonna get shot, bro. Like, come on now.
okay, so that is civil disobedience, right? So that's not necessarily that's causing an obstruction, right? But the question
Obstruction of police.
But the question you got to ask yourself is, right, if it's civil disobedience, right, what's the penalty for that? Because remember, even throughout all these societies, even in Iran right now, even if you look at the civil rights movement, there was always civil disobedience involved, and people got arrested for this stuff, thrown in jail, and then you go see a judge, right? The penalty is not death for something like that without you coming at the police violently, right?
It depends,
So
right? If you have a gun on your belt buckle and you're obstructing the police, they have a right to assume that you're a threat to them, right?
Yeah, but no, but you
Does
got to
that not make
remember
sense?
at the same time in this country, depends on your state and different things like that, you have the Second Amendment. And so you have the right to carry arms, concealed permits. Some states, you can even carry an arm exposed. You can walk into Walmart in some states with an AK-47 over your back. You see what I'm
But when
saying?
you're obstructing police while you have your like Second Amendment, right? What you can't have a fucking gun in your hand and you're obstructing police.
So who
have
had a gun
them
in
not
their
think
hand?
that you're a threat,
Who
right?
had a gun in their hand and were obstructing the police?
Petty, the guy who just got shot. Petty, he was the guy who just got shot in
Did
Minnesota.
you watch the video? Did the guy have a gun in his hand? Last time I seen the video.
Well, he had a gun on it. He had a gun on his belt buckle.
Okay, not in his hand. So you just made that up.
No, I did.
It's two different things.
No, I was using that as an example.
Yeah,
of
but you said
why it's okay to not
speaking, the
obstruct
person
police.
speaking, I'm going to assume you're not American. The person
Amendment
speaking,
right.
you may need to look up
You can
Ruby
carry-
Ridge
you
and
can open
Waco.
carry in some states.
If you
can
need
carry
to
concealed
understand,
weapons in
it's
some
not
states.
even the police. This is the United States federal government. You cannot, under any circumstance, try to go back and forth with them and try to enact your rights for speech or assembly or even civil disobedience. United States Code has made it clear you cannot interfere with a federal operation.
Okay,
So what happened to Ashley Babbitt? Wait, hold on. Let me ask you a question. Please, can I ask a question? Like, really
Hold
quick?
on.
Can I ask a question really quick, and then I'll shut up. Then I'll shut up and I'll be quiet. What happened to Ashley Babbitt? Why did Ashley Babbitt get shot? I'll be quiet.
Ashley Babbitt? I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Well,
She
Ashley
was on
Babbitt now.
January 6th.
Okay, so Ashley Babbitt.
Why'd she get shot? Why'd she get shot, bro?
Yes, but she broke in, right, to a secured area, right?
No, the window was already open and she crawled in. And she got shot in the back by a fucking federal person.
Bro, she broke into a
say
secured area. She broke in. It's like going into a military base.
It's a government building, bro. We pay our taxes for the fucking state buildings, bro.
Taxes and you think you have that right? You go.
Yes,
right
we
now,
pay our taxes for these
you
fucking
go
state
right
buildings.
Now. Yes, I know you pay your taxes. So you pay your taxes in your state, right? Go down
Yes.
to the governor's mansion or go to the state capitol where you live and break in there and see.
I
what
will
happens.
do it, dude. I don't give a fuck. I'll go into the state building,
Well,
bro.
go ahead and do that. It's a secured area because you pay taxes.
No one's gonna shoot me though,
Because
because they know the law. They know the law, so they won't shoot me, brother.
Taxes and I fund the military. That means I can go right now to a military base and run up in there and try to say
That's not the law,
I'm
though.
gonna
That's
hang
not
the
the law.
general, which is what they did. They said hang Mike Pence, which is Trump's vice.
That's not the law. That's not
They
the
were
law,
saying
though.
hang Mike Pence. They were saying they had nooses. They said they want to kill these people. And
Those are private military buildings. The state capitol is a government building.
Look, there
Paid
was
for
a
by the
stampede.
taxpayers.
There was a stampede, so they had to eliminate the stampede. That's what happened. Can we
Yeah,
move
and then
on?
they use that. And there's a black guy that shot her too, and then they use that and try to make it like a race thing. You know what I mean?
No,
In a way,
it was a Mexican. It was a Mexican that shot
No,
her.
it was a black dude that shot her.
It was? Okay,
Yes,
okay.
man, you don't know this shit, man.
Bro, dude, I know the Ashley Babbitt case, but I thought it was a Mexican.
You don't
like,
know the case if you don't know who shot her.
bro, I do know the case, but I
And
feel
you
like you're
mentioned the guy
wrong.
had a gun in
I
his
feel like
hand.
you're
The guy
wrong.
never even pulled the gun out, and he has a right to conceal carry in all kinds of places in this country. Some places you can open carry. I thought you were all conservatives all about the Second Amendment. What happened?
How does this tie into black celebrities coming into Africa?
Yeah.
We kind of got off the
mean,
topic altogether.
I mean, I
so.
could talk on that, but someone else can talk because I've been talking.
Ashley Babbitt did not trespass, by the way.
Who cares?
I'm all for
building.
black celebrities going to
no
Africa
one really
and doing all
cares.
that stuff. You know what I mean? And I just hope that whenever people go there, they help the people and help the economy and help the society grow and become better. You know, that's what I really hope. You know, and not just because sometimes people coming from a place with plenty of money, going to a place that doesn't have as much money, they can inflate prices and things like that. And it's not that they're deliberately doing it; it's just a function of capital and how capital moves. You know, so.
You mean
Can I ask? Hold on.
people with
Let
that
me
type of
ask you
money
really quick.
there?
Do you think Ashley Babbitt was deserved to be shot? You think she should have been shot and killed?
Look, Ashley Babbitt,
for
right?
for
I don't
stepping
know-
on government property.
Look, I can see how she ends up getting shot.
It's not
right?
dope, bro.
I can't say she broke into an
Dope,
area,
dude. It's
secured
fucking
area,
cigarette.
right? They were trying to get in there. They was talking about hanging people and all this type of stuff. It was, you know, and their job is to protect the people people from all over this country, conservative, liberals, and whatever else between, voted to send to that place to do their business, to do the business of the people. And so
I'm waiting for a yes or no, bro. Do you think she should have been shot? Yes or no?
They maybe they could have avoided shooting her, but her getting shot,
So no.
kind of a natural outcome.
Okay. That's fucked up. That's messed up,
Because
dude.
it's a high
That's messed
probability
up.
because of the area she went into. It's like if I go into a military base right now and I'm trying to say I'm gonna go kill the general or something. You know what I mean? It's a high probability I'm gonna get shot. Now maybe they might hold me. Most people didn't get shot. In reality,
Hold
one
on.
person getting shot, they were lucky.
Is the state capital a fucking militarized zone, bro?
It's a government.
Is it a militarized zone? Yes or no? Yes or no? Is it a militarized zone? Is it the state capital a militarized zone, bro? It's not. It's not a militarized zone, bro.
Guy. Let's hold on, guys. I'm just time to. I'm about to close.
Guys are
out.
killing the conversation. Who cares about her?
Yeah, but guys, let's go ahead and close out. Everyone, thank you so much for joining.
Can I get a yes or no? Can I get a yes or no, bro?
Go revenge her. Stop being the pussy. Go revenge her.
Danfall offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshe traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danfall, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danfall, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danfall, Africa. To learn more, visit danfall.africa.